It's in Caroline fashion show.
My nails are curling. It's like,
Of course she'll show
I don't
up.
care.
So did you take Caroline's advice? Have you learned new vocabulary?
Bitch. Bitch. If I say bitch, you crazy, you mad. That's like I'm going hard on you. But if I said bitch, he's like, you're my girl. Me using the word bitch on the table at the dinner was literally nice. Oh.
Hey! Oh my god.
I thought we were done. I thought you weren't showing off.
Oh.
What color? Showing with your stripes and sequins and that headgear.
Hey god.
Absolutely beautiful. What ladies? Well, welcome for Caroline. Wow, okay. Tension.
To be sincere, I wasn't expecting like a special treatment. And when I said that the way she greeted me, I was comparing it with the way everyone else greeted me. Eventually, before the end of the night, we all had laughter and everything, which was really shocking to me. When I saw it on TV, she's saying that, oh, you've done this, you've done that. I was like, girl, you've done worse. The streets are talking.
Why do you feel she's done more? And when you say she's done more, what do you mean?
The streets are talking.
Yeah, do you agree to what she said? Do you think you could have been warmer with your greeting when she first came in?
To be sincere, if she complained that I wasn't warm enough, well, I'm sorry about that. But I think I was warm enough. Personally, I felt I was. I was really sick. I was coughing. I wasn't supposed to make the trip. Do you understand? But it's how she felt. And I'm sorry about that. But if she wants to listen to the streets, I can't stop her. And if the streets wants to talk, I can't stop them from talking. I know who I am. And I know what I'm worth.
Bitch!
She has said several times that we're not, She has said several times that we're not friends, and trust me, Chioma is 150% correct. Me, I'm Laura. Everybody's my friend. My clients are my friends. My Instagram followers, I call everybody my friend. I'm actually married to an evil man. Cheating is an abomination.
So were you married as of the time
I
she
was
said
in
you were
2007. When I wrote my book, I just got married.
statement about her being pimped and all of that? Do you regret it? Do you take it back? Do you have any apologies? Or do you still own it with your full chest?
Saying it too far on TV, yes, but I still hold on to it.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
They gave, I think, 70 IDs to invite Nollywood people to represent, to give speech and all that. So many people came to give speeches. And the truth here is, it depends the people that took you there or who you were even discussing with that must have said those things about you and I heard. So I'm not taking anything back.
So you did things you heard.
I saw you were there. And they confirmed it.
Yeah, I was there with you.
So you should be careful with the people that takes you to such places.
You know what?
I'm not taking it back.
I can't actually discuss this.
I'm not taking it back, my darling. You have a husband, I have a family too. So when you go about saying that I sleep with small boys, do you have a confirmation for that?
Exactly.
Yeah, what happened?
What happened where?
Exactly, say what happened now.
What happened where? I told you what happened.
What happened?
Were you not the one lying you down?
What did I lie about?
I just told you now. Were you deaf when I was saying it? Were you deaf when I was saying it?
Your father is dead. Caroline.
It's your father that is deaf and your mother that is deaf.
My mother is also dead.
Oh, maybe they're all deaf in the grave.
Hey guys, you are welcome back to my YouTube channel. You're welcome to today's conversation, today's FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you that are here today. Thank you so much. As usual, I will tell you all, I do not take your attendance for granted. Jesus Christ, this week. I do not take your attendance for granted, guys. Thank you all so much for coming through. There's a lot to talk about today, and oh my God, I've shared a bit of that on the video I dropped yesterday. That's my review of the Real Housewives of Lagos reunion part 1. We are still waiting for the part 2, which is going to be dropping hopefully next week, Friday. So I've gone through the comment section of that video and I saw a lot of comments. Oh my god. The comment is plenty. The comment is plenty. Okay, but it's been a while I did this. It's been a while I directly showed appreciation to every single one of you that have joined to this conversation. So what I'm going to do right now is I will just quickly go ahead. Oh, Faiz is even requesting for the same thing I'm about to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and mention your names one after the other as I see them. If I do not mention your name, please, it does not make you less important, okay? So I can see here Tammy Bright. Tammy Bright, you are especially welcome. There's Faiz. Hi Faiz. There's JP. Hello JP. There's Adiza Ibrahim. There's Erica. Erica is a regular in the house. Erica, you're absolutely welcome. There is Ifoma Genevieve. Welcome, darling. There's Joseph. There's Leslie. There's Caroline. Oh, okay. I hope this is the Caroline Hutchings that we have here. There's R Jamal. There's Joseph. Okay. There's Delphine, there's Talatu. Hi. There's Rita, there's PA Oduwale. Hi, Oduwale from Twitter. Welcome to the YouTube family. There's God's Time. Thanks for coming through. There's Boneng. Hello. There's Success. Welcome, Success. There's Lily Chooks. There's Ifoma. There's Tammy T. Oh, hi, Tammy. It's nice to see you on here, Tammy. There's also let me see. There's Sisanda. Hello. There's Drake. There's Victoria. Listen, each and every one of you, you are specially welcome. All right. So basically, as usual, I'm just gonna go ahead and list a bit of the highlights from yesterday. I mean, we talked about a lot of that on the video I dropped yesterday. So I'm just gonna briefly talk about the highlights, one or two observations that I took note of during my watching of the reunion. There were certain things that I saw that I felt like, okay, in as much as the reunion show was all great and good, it could have been better, right? It could have been better. And this time around, I'm talking from the perspective of not from the perspective, I'm talking towards the direction of the host, Utin Wachuku, and the producers of the show. All right. So let's just quickly get into it. Now, first off, I'm going to give a million and more accolades over and over again to the producers of the Real Housewives of Lagos. These people, they've outdone themselves. They've really done a great job. Listen, guys, in as much as one or two times we get to castigate them for not, adding this kind of spice or going or leaning towards our expectations, I must give it to them. They've really done great, guys, especially with the reunion show. Oh my God, everything was just spot on. Everything just looked really great, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed watching the reunion show. As a matter of fact, I had to go back and watch it again for the second time. This time around with, people so that we could watch it together and just enjoy it more like a watch party. It was really entertaining. It was rich in content. We thoroughly enjoyed it. When we were looking at the entertainment value of it, it was thoroughly enjoyable. I mean, I had people from different parts of the world contacting me and saying, "Oh my God, Glory, this is fire! Real Housewives of Lagos, of all the other franchises, it was really dope, guys. It was really dope. It was spot on. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Talking about the outfits that the ladies wore, really, that was simply amazing. On the video I dropped yesterday, I mentioned that those outfits were really regal. It really stood out. It made the ladies look so royal. It made them look really stunning, beautiful, each and every one of them. And one thing for sure is their makeup, guys. I don't know, but for the first time, I think I really genuinely loved the makeup that the ladies were wearing. It wasn't too loud. I've kind of had issues with the makeup that they wear, from episode to episode all through the season. But sometimes I'm not really bothered about talking about it because hey, I'm not even a great makeup artist myself, but everything yesterday about the ladies' outlook, it was well put together. It was, how do they put it now? It was TV worthy. Yeah, it was beautiful. So I want to really give all accolades I have, yes, to the producers, the makeup artists, the stylists, everybody that was involved in putting together all of that work that we saw in that whole 55 minutes yesterday. You guys have done great. Thank you so much. Now, next thing I want to talk about is the host, Utin Wachuku. Prior to the reunion show dropping yesterday, I had done a video talking about my expectations for the reunion show and also my expectations or my perception of the host Uti Nwachukwu. I talked about how I was kind of skeptical about Uti delivering, But yesterday, I must confess, Uti actually did great. And it's not like I'm in any position to rate him as an authority. I am not an authority in people that know how to carry interviews, no guys. But I'm speaking from the angle of one who has followed multiple reunion shows from reality TV shows, and I have seen how it is done. Not necessarily reunion shows of even reality TV shows, but I've seen how the hosts, the anchors, the compares of reality TV shows like that do things, and to some extent, it's giving me some insight into how it is done, even though every individual that takes up those roles, they are unique in their own ways. They are different in their own unique ways. Yes. And so I had my own expectations of Uti, and most especially because, as I mentioned on that video I did, Uti has a notorious reputation of being an online villain. He has that reputation. He has that reputation as well of always constantly enjoying playing the villain card. And, I don't know, should I call it playing the devil's advocate? Like when Uti is standing a certain celebrity or public figure or whoever, he's very, very, like he makes his position very well known. And sometimes it's not so good. In as much as everybody has the freedom of expression, in as much as everybody has the right to I don't know, maybe publicly declare their interest, But with Uti, sometimes it gets kind of toxic because he engages a lot in online banters, online drags here and there. They drag him, he drags back people, and he does this a lot during reality TV shows. And there were already rumors that for this Real Housewives of Lagos, Uti is already standing the likes of Iyabo, the likes of Laura. Yes, who else? And I think the likes of Toyin. And honestly, I did not want to believe 100% because I don't follow him on Instagram. So I don't really know what he's been up to. But just from seeing most of his tweets on Twitter, I just had I just had a bit of knowledge that, okay, this is what this guy has been doing. And what else? So when the reunion show dropped, right from the intro of the show, I was looking at the way he was welcoming the ladies, and it was very obvious that there were those ones, from the way he was welcoming them, there were those ones that he obviously had a close connection with, a close sort of relationship with. It could be a business relationship, it could be a friendship relationship, guys, I don't know. But from the way he was greeting the ladies, you could tell. I mean, any blind person could tell from the sound of his voice, from his reactions at seeing them, you could tell that, okay, this guy kind of knows his people, even though they all operate in the same industry, right? And when I knew that he probably wasn't really close to Chioma was when Chioma arrived and he was going to greet Chioma, and you could tell that, okay, there's this respectable distance between them, like hi, 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 But when the likes of Laura walked into the room, Toyin, Caroline, I don't know, Caroline's one was kind of skeptical. It was as though it was out of shock that he, hi, But for the other people, you could tell. So that's by the way. But this is not to water down Uti's efforts. In my opinion, Uti actually tried. However, there were a lot of loopholes in Uti's anchoring that conversation. Yeah, number one, he did not really probe deep with the questions, and it kind of raised a lot of eyebrows. It made me feel like, okay, did this guy really watch the show? Did this guy really follow the events, the drama, the activities, all the gossips, everything on the show and off the show? Did Uti really involve himself in the show like he should have? Yes, guys, I was just basically asking myself all of those questions because there were times during the show that he would ask questions which were obviously written on his question card. I mean, guys, it's not new for Uti to have a question card. Almost every interviewer has a question card. As I'm talking to you right now, I have my own book as well, where I jotted down one or two things. So everybody that speaks on TV like that, they normally have a question card, and most people have a teleprompter. Yesterday, Uti had a teleprompter, and he also had his question card. So let's let me talk about the teleprompter part. It was very obvious that Uti was reading directly from the teleprompter, and the way he was reading it, it made it look so obvious, guys. And I'm like, okay, dude, there are ways that you can actually pretend like you're not reading what you're saying from a teleprompter. So it was kind of obvious, and I'm like, is this a rush job or what? Is it that this guy did not really have time to immerse himself in the role of being the host of the reunion show? What exactly happened? What went wrong? I was asking myself questions like that. And guys, it wasn't really me being overly critical of what Uti was doing. I was mostly focused on what source, what drama he was bringing to the show. And as I said before, Uti really tried. He did great. I mean, his reactions, they were really epic. Uti is a very, very funny person. He's kind of entertaining. He has a very, very interesting personality. So when Caroline walked in, when he said, oh, the ladies should say hello to Caroline, more like a question, when he did not answer him, his reaction was really enjoyable to see. It even added more spice to the dramatic effect of that moment. I thoroughly enjoyed it. However, when it came to the crux of the matter of the show, when questions were being asked, obviously from his questions cards, he was not really probing deeper. It was as though he restricted himself. I don't know if it was by his own doing or if it was by the instructions of the producers of the show, guys. I do not know. I am not sure. But I'm just speaking based off of what I saw from the reunion show. He was not probing further. It felt like he restricted himself to the questions on the card. And I'll give you for instance. So say from the start, yeah. Let me see. Okay. When he was asking Laura questions about what she thought about Chioma's description of their friendship situation, are they friends or not? It was very obvious that all through the show, Laura made that a bone of contention. The fact that Chioma did not acknowledge her as a friend, but rather referred her to be a customer of good hair and brass and coppers. Everybody saw that. That was the start of Laura's beef towards Chioma. And that was what Laura carried from the beginning of the season of the show till the end. And then she now added Caroline's own beef to beefing Chioma as well. So it was very obvious. Anybody who watched the show, they knew that when it comes to Laura and Chioma, that was the bone of contention. The need for acknowledgement, the need to be seen as a friend, to be accepted as a friend. Anybody who watched the show, they knew that simple fact. So I was kind of disappointed when Uti asked Laura that question. They played the clips and all, and Uti asked Laura, oh, do you think it was far-reaching for you to blah, 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 blah? And Laura obviously lied that the problem she had with Chioma was because Chioma had came in episode 3 to Caroline's boo party to come and say that she was coming to come and defend Caroline, that Chioma should not have involved herself in the drama. Chioma should have allowed her to face Caroline, blah, blah, blah. That was the only issue that she had with Chioma on the show. And then Laura also lied again that, what was that thing she said again? She said that, oh, Chioma was right 105%. That, oh, yes, and we are not friends. Laura is friends with everybody, and my customers are my friends, blah, blah, blah. Guys, that was obviously a lie. And at that point in time, I was really expecting the production team or whoever edited the video, but of course, the production team, they are all together in one. Yes, I was expecting the production team in that editing process to have provided us with clips of some of Laura's confessionals where she was obviously enraged, angry, venting, expressing her anger at the fact that Chioma did not acknowledge her as a friend. Yes, I mean, up until I think episode 4 or 5, even after Laura's fashion show, when she was going to do a toast, just a simple toast, Laura still threw shades at Chioma, still using the friendship line. So guys, all of these things were very, very evident for anybody that clearly watched the show. But then sadly, Uti did not probe. That was the point I was hoping for him to have asked a question like, oh, okay, if you are saying this, what then was your direct bone of contention with Chioma? Because during most of your diary sessions, during most of your confessionals, you would constantly bash Chioma, call her classless. Oh, Chioma does not have class. Chioma is pretending. Chioma is this and that. What exactly was the actual issue? Because if she claimed that it was because of Caroline that she had issues with Chioma, then it was completely contrary to most of the things that Laura was spewing during her confessionals. So Oti's lack of probing deeper into that, it kind of made it look like he was completely clueless of the show. It kind of made it look like Oti did not even watch the show. He probably watched certain episodes, or maybe because, I don't know, let me not say because he has a bias, or maybe because of his closeness with some of the women, he probably overlooked some of those juicy parts of the show, not to, expose them that they were lying. So that was one part for me. Another part where I felt like Uti and probably the production team could have done better was when, let me see, oh yes, yeah, when Toyin was talking over Laura and also talking over Caroline, the constant interjections, the constant interruptions, I mean, guys, we want the drama. And to be very honest, guys, it was that drama that made the reunion part one really spicy, really entertaining, really enjoyable. However, at least let there be a bit of clear communication so that us, the viewers, we can follow the line of argument. Yes, at least we can follow where the drama is headed. Let's follow the direction. Let's not just be lost and scattered like sheep around, right? So I just felt like Uti just allowed Toyin to do whatever she wanted to do. And once again, I'm not going to say that it's his fault. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's his fault because he probably might be receiving instructions from the producers, or he probably followed through, but those parts were probably edited out. I don't know. I'm just naming all of these scenarios that there's a possibility that all of those things happened. But still, it was very obvious that he was not really following through with the questions. Another part is, yeah, let me see. Toy. Yeah, another part that Uti did not really, stick to the assignment was when Uti had asked Laura, not really asked Laura, but he had asked all the ladies who spilled the bean to Laura about Caroline saying things about Laura at the Elashe Beach Resort, the one where Iyabo had actually hosted the ladies. And Laura had lied that it was her that had decided to use that opportunity to send a message to Caroline that she did not like Caroline. She did not want to F with Caroline on the show. We all knew that Laura was actually lying, and there was a possibility that she was trying to protect Toyin, or maybe a friendship between guys. I don't even know, because towards the end of the reunion show, it was very obvious that whatever was left of her friendship with Toyin had actually gone south. So at that point in time, it was very obvious that she lied. Because from what Iyabo said, she had been told by Laura at the spa that, Toyin told me, if I see Caroline and she says blah, 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 I'm going to slap her. And Laura said it 3 times. We didn't see that part. And that was why I was expecting that the producers would have possibly shown us clips of those, those backstories. Because in any of the episodes, we didn't get to see any of those things. So they should have showed us those clips, right? That's what the reunion is for. Show us things that we did not get to see whilst the episodes were airing. And what was Uti's role in that? That when Toyin now said that, Caroline said a lot of things, and then, Caroline said this, Caroline said that. This is where I started thinking about Ebuka. And I'm not trying to say that, Ebuka is, the best at this game, but it's actually really good. If it was Ebuka would have really gone ahead to ask her that question. Toyin, you said that Caroline said a lot of things about Laura. So from all what you've mentioned now, are those derogatory things, or is that not someone expressing herself about her experience with Laura when she attended your masterclass? Because there are 2 different things, guys, if we are being very, very open-minded and realistic. It's a different thing if Caroline had been insulting Laura at that Elashe Beach. That girl, I don't like her, blah, blah, blah. She's this, she's that, she's classless, she's blah, blah, blah. Insulted her thoroughly, properly. I mean, the way what's her name, Caroline and Toyin insulted each other yesterday at the reunion. It would have been an entirely different ball game if Toyin had thoroughly, properly insulted Laura like that at the Lashe beach. Now that's proper insult. But what Toyin said, oh, Caroline said a lot of things about you, but they did not show it to us. She said you were rude to her when she attended my masterclass. Guys, that wasn't an insult. That was someone telling what had happened. So I was expecting Uti to probe further with questions and possibly for the producers to show us a clip of Caroline saying a lot. Let us know who is lying, but none of that was done. So there was another loophole. Yes, there was emptiness in that regard, right? So what else? I mean, overall, Uti really did great. He did great. However, he could have done better. He could have done better, but I was really impressed. I kind of enjoyed all of his gimmicks, all of his body language, all of that reactions he was giving, but there were times that Uti was looking completely clueless. There were times that Uti was looking like, oh my God, I don't even know what to ask next. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say next. And somehow it was kind of embarrassing. So I am hoping that for the part 2 of the reunion, Uti is not going to look completely lost. Yes, I'm really hoping that however they want to edit this part 2, they should just make Uti look better. Yeah, he looked good on this part 1, but for part 2, I'm hoping that it does not really look clueless. All right. Okay, so that said about Uti, let me just quickly go ahead and read some of your comments before I continue. Kristen Kwan is saying, love your reviews or love your views. I feel like Toyin was the liar. Thank you. Sisanda said, let's just agree that Caroline is the show and she made this first season. Laura tried, but Caroline did without effort. She just had to exist and people hated her, but for her posture, her clapbacks. Okay. Even said, almost all of them lied, especially Caroline. Okay. T Black said, amazing ways to get. Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, Joseph said, I also missed Latricia. Oh, okay. Yeah, Latricia. Oh my God, guys. Hopefully we get to see Latricia today. A Ford said, Caroline is my real housewife, period. Okay. Ikotun said, I will keep saying it. You should be there instead of Uti. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Ifeoma Genevieve said, the outfits, oh my God, it was wow. I am always for promoting culture in a beautiful way. So 100%. I totally agree with you. And Zachary said, hello, Glory. I loved all their outfits. Yes, me too. Thank you very much. Guys, please keep those comments coming. And don't forget, the moment I'm done with my explanation, I'm going to share the link to this conversation. So if you would like to share with me your thoughts about the reunion show, you can just go ahead and join the conversation. Now, moving on, I want to talk about each and every one of the housewives, some of the highlights and some of their low lights. Okay, let's start with Mariam. Now, if you cast your mind back to how Mariam was introduced to the Real Housewives, oh my God, Mariam came with so much energy. Our intro was very entertaining. And I'm sure that a lot of us, the viewers, we had a lot of expectations. She came like, oh my God, I'm bringing thunder and brimstone. Oh my God, I'm bringing fire, I'm bringing storms. I'm coming here to come and bring drama. And everybody was kind of backing her up because by that time, it was in episode 4, we were already seeing her being introduced. We knew that from episode 1, 2, 3, Laura wanted to be the center of attention. Laura was bringing a lot of drama. And some people were getting tired already. Me, I was getting upset already. Like, how can one person be just so problematic and excessive? So when Mariam was introduced, I was kind of excited, like, oh my God, okay. So finally, Laura is going to get a match. A lot of people were also excited because we're looking forward to seeing the clash between Mariam and Laura. And both of them, they had a conversation by the poolside in Abuja. Toyin had sent Mariam to go and represent her in the Chioma's get together thingy. Like she had already prepped Mariam up, had given Mariam some gist about the women. So it was kind of interesting, guys, because one way or the other, from Toyin's conversations with Mariam, because they're also friends, there's a possibility that Toyin must have said certain things about the rest of the women to marry. I'm kind of prepping her mind that, oh, when you come, this person is like this. And guys, we all know that Toyin's perception about all the women is never 100% factual. Yes, because Toyin to some extent enjoys playing the victim a lot, as we saw on the show. So Mariam was already coming with, prepared violence. Oh my God, I'm coming to come and fight. I'm coming to come and do this. But then she came and probably it turned out that, oh my God, these women are not so bad. Even the Caroline that she was already looking forward to causing some drama with, guys, we later found out that not even later, we found out that she was lying when she said that, oh, Caroline gave her a handshake like this. When we actually saw the clip, it was a proper handshake, and then there was also the part that, listen, girl, you people are just meeting for the first time, so you don't expect them to carry you, kiss you, hug you, throw you like a ball, like a bouncing baby, and put you down and said, oh, the Queen of Zamunda, you're welcome. Didn't really make sense. There's always a first meeting, and sometimes people are skeptical when they are meeting people for the first time. And guys, another people do not understand is that Mariam came, I think, as Toyin's plus one. And we know that Caroline and Toyin, they already have a history. So Caroline, in my opinion, even tried being, kind of warm to Mariam, giving her that proper handshake. If it were some people, they'll be like, okay, I have to be wary of this person. This person is a friend to my sworn enemy, so I have to be careful. So I felt like Mariam was expecting too much. Yes, she was expecting too much on the first meeting with the women. However, moving back to the reunion, when Uti was talking about, oh, everybody is here, but Caroline is not here. Ladies, do you think that Caroline is going to show up? I was taken aback, the way Mariam was already doing shaky body, like she was just restless, that, oh, look at me, look at my fingers. I don't actually give a damn. I don't care. That kind of thing. And I was wondering, like, okay, Mariam, where is this beef coming from all of a sudden? Because, guys, we all watched all the episodes of the show, right? Initially, there was going to be a beef between these two people, but then during dinner at that same Abuja trip, each and every single one of the ladies, they had an opportunity to talk about their first impressions about one another. And Mariam told Caroline, first time I met you, I thought you were a biatch. But then I'm getting to know you now. I know that, okay, you're not like that. Everybody had something to say about everybody. And they all squashed all of that beef. And that was the end of Mariam and Caroline's beef, as we saw on the show. If they had any other beef off the show, guys, I'm yet to find out. And there's probably some more beef that us, the viewers, do not know about. There's a hint about it as we saw on the snipers for the part 2 of the reunion. So we're going to find out, but still focusing on the part 1 of the reunion. I felt like Mariam was just doing too much. It felt as though she was making a desperate attempt to be the highlight of the reunion. But guess what? It was so shameful. As a matter of fact, I felt ashamed on her behalf when she was talking, blah, blah, blah. When Uti was asking her, oh, so what was your game plan? And she was all excited. She was just talking. And guess what? The moment Caroline walked in, guys, it was as if Caroline just came and rained nastily on a parade without even having to do anything. Honestly, at that point in time, I didn't even know who to blame. Should I blame the producers for allowing Caroline to come in at the time that Mariam was talking? Guys, to be frank with you, I actually liked it because Mariam was busy blabbing nonsense. I'm sorry, but she was blabbing nonsense. She was just blabbing, and then Caroline walked in at that point in time, and everybody's breath was snatched away. The ladies looked like they wanted to choke and faint. Yes, but really, at that point in time, moving on to the questions, aside all the ladies' their faces, the way they were looking like they had seen a ghost, Uti asking them if they were not going to welcome Caroline. Oh, by the way, someone was saying that, oh, Caroline did not welcome the ladies. Please go and watch that episode again. She actually said hello to the ladies. Hi, ladies. But nobody answered her. But fast forward to Uti questioning, what's her name, Mariam, about Caroline's friendship. Caroline's attitude towards her, that she was saying that, oh, when they were playing the truth or dare game, she was very disappointed when she was watching the show and she saw Caroline saying, oh, you did that, oh, the streets are talking, blah, blah, blah. Guys, once again, I was very disappointed in Mariam because I felt like Mariam, If really you wanted to be the highlight of this reunion, that was your chance. That was your opportunity to blast Caroline if you really had receipts, if you really had facts or details about what you meant by the streets are talking, because what he actually asked her gave her a chance. And ladies and gentlemen, that part was not edited. Go and watch it again. It was not edited. Some people were saying that, oh, Mariam was not given the chance to talk back at Caroline. No, you see that part? It was video. So I know when something is edited. So Mariam only repeated, the streets are talking. When Uti asked her again, what do you mean? Why did you say that the streets are talking? She did not have things to say. If really she did have things to say, that was her chance to shine, to be the highlight, because she was already doing everybody to be the highlight. And it felt, like I said, it felt like she was just so desperate to just do something, because she had realized that all through the season, she had kind of watered down. She had mellowed. She came with so much fire and energy, but then before the show ended, Mariam don't cool down. She became the referee for every fight. She became the peacemaker for every fight, which was a good thing. And it kind of endeared her to a lot of us, the viewers. But then we're kind of surprised that, okay, reunion has come. And now it seemed as though all the madness that she did not display during the show, she wants to come and display it on the reunion. But guess what? Caroline's response to her, it just completely shuts down all her parade. All that highlight that she wanted. I'm sorry, but Caroline's response to her just shut her down. The part where Caroline said, I cannot stop the streets from talking. And if Mariam wants to speak, I cannot stop Mariam from listening to the streets. I don't know if I'm paraphrasing, but that simple statement that Caroline made, it shut her down. And then later in the reunion, she found herself making a case for Caroline, defending Caroline. Well, Caroline's apology was actually more remorseful than Chioma's apology. And she was looking kind of sincere when she was saying it. I'm like, this woman, did you come to the reunion show with a clash of personalities? Did you come not knowing which camp to pick? Because it felt as though the women probably planned that, oh, when Caroline comes, nobody should give a hoot about her, blah, blah, blah. And then it seemed like, maybe because Caroline is winning this fight now with all that massive clapback, let me just try and take small side. But anyways, let me not be too quick to jumping into conclusions, because the part 2 of the reunion is coming, and it seems as though there's some thunder, storm brewing between Caroline and Mariam. We're going to see it unfold. Now, moving on to Laura. I have already given bits and pieces of what I felt. Laura was lying at the reunion. And once again, she kind of portrayed herself to be cowardly with her responses. Yes, it kind of portrayed her to be cowardly. Laura had an interview recently, I think it was yesterday, and that's the first time she's having that interview. I watched the interview, and oh my God, I couldn't even stand the interview. I couldn't watch it to the end, because both Laura and the interviewer, they were just lying through their nose. They were lying stupidly. At some point, I felt like carrying stone and hitting the interviewer on the head so that she will have a brain reset. Because I'm asking myself, this interviewer, are you sure you watched the show at all? Are you sure you watched the show? Because the interviewer was just saying all manner of nonsense. I'm sorry, but the interviewer was just, I don't know if the interviewer was basically trying to make Laura feel good about herself, or maybe she was just trying to thread carefully not to offend Laura so that Laura will not lash out at her on camera. But that interview was the poorest. Let me just ignore that. Now, talking about Laura on the reunion show, guys. Oh my God. Laura, it was as if Laura started a fire during the show. When she now came to reunion, it was as though she was scared. Because if you notice, most of the things that Laura was saying that were nasty, she was saying them during her confessionals, right? Except for all the outright attacks she and Caroline were having at each other, yeah? But when Laura came to the reunion, look at her. It was like she was scared. It was as though, make her not talk too much so that they will not beat me. I'm like, wow, Laura, so you're all mouth and no action. What was that? They'll ask you one question. Blah, 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 blah. How would they put it in that Dorime song? You run kata kata kiti kiti kata kata kiti. You run to this side, left and right. You cannot hold on to what you said. You cannot say it with your full chest. And that was why people were cheering Caroline on yesterday. People were cheering her on. Laura thinks she's the only one that has mouth to talk. And so when Caroline told her, I am not taking it back, I saw you getting pimped. And I heard it being said, and I confirmed it, and I saw you there. And she was like, oh, do you have receipts? And I was like, well, I wasn't in the room when you were doing your shit. But I confirmed it. Guys, even though us, the viewers, were not there, even though we were not even in that hotel room when the whole shit with the governor was happening, I mean, it's nobody's business. It's not my business. I don't even care. As far as I'm concerned, Laura is not the only one that has a family. Yes, she's still married. She's in her husband's house and she has kids. Well, likewise, Caroline. Even though Caroline is divorced, Caroline has kids, which automatically makes her a role model to her own people that she has created. Laura is not the only one that has created people, So it was quite funny how she could not even argue her way out of that. Yes, and Caroline made a very valid point. You claimed that you have seen me, frolicking with small boys, little boys. So if you cannot, if you have receipts about that, then bring it. That's the same way I am saying that I saw you, I confirmed you getting pimped. So Uti, that was the part where Uti really pissed me off, because at that point in time, once again, I was expecting Uti to turn to Laura and ask Laura that, okay, Laura, she said if you have receipts of her sleeping with small boys, you should bring it. I was expecting Uti to turn around and ask that one damn question. But Uti did not. He did not. He did not ask that question. Guys, so it was really funny. It was really funny how the whole thing went yesterday. It was really funny. So she could not say anything. Guys, sorry. These people, they are making a lot of noise. Jesus Christ. They are mowing the grasses in this compound and it's going to disturb this conversation. So just 1 second, guys. Let me make it come quickly. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Hello? Yeah, KB, are they cutting the grass? Okay, on Saturdays I do my live stream, my work, and the noise is disturbing me. Can you tell him to come back in next 2 hours, please? Because it's disturbing my work, please. I'm online as I'm talking to you, okay? All right, thank you. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. If I do not make this call, trust me, they're going to come round around my apartment and the noise is going to be insane. I don't know if you can hear the noise right now. It is insane. It is insane. This house is soundproof, but it doesn't stop the noise from penetrating into this house. The noise is going to be insane. Anyways, as I was saying, I felt like Uti messed up. That was a chance. That was an opportunity for Uti to ask that one question. But he did not ask. He did not ask that one question. So it was just really crazy for me. So Caroline's point, guys, as far as I'm concerned, it was really valid. And as I will always say, I cannot say that Laura is lying or Caroline is lying or Toyin is lying because I was not there when they were doing their business. For me, what I see on the reunion and on the show itself is what I base my own analysis, my own judgment on. What else? Yeah, Laura saying that her WhatsApp messages were not malicious. Guys, we all know that was a terrible lie. We all know that was a lie. Sorry, guys. Hello? Yeah. The other duplex. Yeah, they can do the other duplex, but you see this outside my window and around this side, it's disturbing me. And let them come back, please, okay? Because it's affecting my work, even the call I'm calling you, okay? Please. Thank you. Guys, I am so sorry. Don't worry, one day I'm going to buy my own house. When I buy my own house, then I will be in charge of when the workers are going to come around the compound and when they're not going to come around. But anyways, as I was saying, that was that. About Laura saying that the WhatsApp messages was not malicious, that was a lie. We know that was a lie. Her saying that, the mimosa that she drank made her behave badly at Mariam's dinner party, guys, we know that was a lie. because she was doing what she was doing. She was having her confessionals, and she still had the temerity to open her mouth and say, "Oh, Mariam, your dinner was boring. The food was this, the food was that." She was just basically bad mouthing every single thing that Mariam was doing. And guys, that also made me pissed. That okay, this is the reunion show. They were talking about the dinner event. Mariam, you needed your highlights. You wanted to shine. That was your opportunity to ask Laura questions. Oh, Laura, you said my house was boring. My dinner was boring. Why did you say that? You wanted to create drama. That was your chance. But Maria did not do any of that. She didn't. Instead, she was looking for how to attack Caroline, that one that came with an arsenal of weapons. Anyways, let's stop talking about Caroline and talk about rather Laura and talk about Toyin. For Toyin, guys, Toyin was just very disappointing to me yesterday. Number one, the fact that she was not allowing the people that she was addressing to air their own narrative. She came as though she was the only one that had a narrative. She came playing the victim card, yes, laying blames on everybody. And of all the things that they all said yesterday, that one thing that Caroline said, oh, Toyin is always blaming everybody for every problem that she has. It sounded a bit as if it was true. Yes, because they were talking about her friendship with Laura. Of course, she had a right to vent her own part. Oh, Laura, why did you say this about me? Laura, I said things to you. You shouldn't have gone to go and tell somebody the things I said to you. But what she was not doing was she was not taking responsibility as well. Laura came with a preconceived mindset about these women. Laura saying that, oh, she already had issues with Caroline before. Seriously? Caroline's issues existed with Linda Ikeji, that's Laura's sister, not Laura directly. So that was Laura inheriting her sister's beef and also inheriting Toyin's beef. Now, Toyin's own role in all of this is your mouth no stay one place. You say you and Laura are not very close, but you opened your mouth and said a lot of nasty things about other people to Laura. You know that Laura is a very, very emotional and overly sensitive human being. And you know, you're very much aware that when you tell Laura things, she's going to overreact. You're not taking responsibility for that. Your own bone of contention is, friends do not go ahead and tell other people what their friends have told them. What about you, Toyin? What about you? And then Laura was trying to talk, and then she was talking over Laura. And then she did the same thing as well when Caroline was trying to talk. And guys, guess what? All fingers of guilt just pointed directly at at Toyin. Because that's the thing. You had your own opportunity to speak, and you spoke. And then Caroline was trying to speak. You are claiming that Caroline is a liar. Everything that comes out of Caroline's mouth is a lie. So how are we going to know that Caroline is indeed a liar if you do not allow her to say what she wants to say? Then when she's done talking, you open your mouth and counter whatever she's saying to you. Oh, I was on Twitter Spaces yesterday, on Showmax Twitter Spaces, and someone was saying that, oh, everybody, Toyin was right for countering and interjecting Caroline when she was talking because she knew that, oh, she might not have the chance again to write the narratives that Caroline was passing about. I'm like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because Toyin only ended up making herself look like the what they call it, the one who is lying. And as I will always say, guys, if I were you, I will wash my hands clean off that 12 years ago beef that Toyin and Caroline have. Why? Because 12 years ago, we were not there. 12 years ago, I was not there. And as I said, I've said this before on my channel, I will say it again. Nobody knows the actual problem, the actual issue, the actual reason for the beef between Toyin and Caroline. The only people that knows is those two women. Even their spouses, even the spouse that Toyin is saying, oh, Caroline slept with this person. Nobody knows. Nobody. People will think, oh, they know. I was listening to some people online, checking some people online, they'll say, oh, I knew it was because of this person. You don't know shit. You don't know. Caroline claims that she knew Toyin for only, is it 2 months or 3 months? Guys, in the space of that period of their friendship, a truckload of things happened. And it is only two of them that can come out and say the exact thing that happened. Nobody else can give 100% details about what happened. So I see a lot of people coming online to say, oh, Caroline is a pathological liar. Toyin is lying. You don't know who is lying. So why don't you just leave it? Anyways, moving on to Caroline. I must commend Caroline. For those of you saying that, oh, Glory, it's obvious that Caroline is your fave. You know what? I am done. I'm done. Like, guys, to be very honest, I'm not even bothered. But if you are being very honest with yourselves and you watch the show with an open mind, then you see clearly that Caroline won most of her arguments yesterday. What did she do? She came to defend herself because she knew that the ladies are definitely going to team up against her. She knew that the ladies are definitely going to gang up against her. She knew that nobody was going to have her back. She knew that she was alone. Her so-called friend, or the friendship she had with Chioma, has gone south. So Chioma is now in Iyabo's camp. Mariam and Toyin, they are in the same camp. Unfortunately, it was supposed to be Toyin and Laura, but now it seems as though those ones too, they have their issues. And now Laura has come to see that the Caroline that she was having issues with is actually not the devil that she should be fighting with. The devil that she should be fighting with is her friend Toyin. So now Laura and Toyin, no day again. So Caroline came prepared. She knew that yes, these people, they're going to come for me. So me too, I have to come and defend myself. And that was exactly what she did. And that's what anybody in a position would do. You own up to your shit. You apologize when you should apologize, because she apologized yesterday to Mariam. She admitted that, oh, the whole dragging thing that she had with Laura about the WhatsApp messages, she felt bad that it happened on TV because she felt like, oh, they could have had a proper conversation about it. But was she going to take back the things she said? No, she will not. Why? Because Laura too has said things about her. They've all said things about each other, guys. So it's not only Caroline. And this is not even a matter about who is lying or not. It's about who threw the first punch. It's about who started the whole drama. Laura obviously started the drama with Caroline. So if you guys are going to crucify me for giving Caroline accolades for that, well, please yourself. As far as I'm concerned, she did great. She carried the part one of the reunion show as she should. And there was one very, very vital message that Caroline passed with all of her actions yesterday. You can win an argument without getting violent physically. You can win an argument by using your words. You can win an argument by being very, very articulating with your words. That was exactly what Caroline did yesterday. She did not have to shout too much. She did not have to stand up and shake body. She did not have to do all the drama or rishi. All she had to do, own up to your mess, apologize when you should, but the one that you're going to carry home with your chest, you carry it. Anybody that wants to kill themselves, they go ahead. So let me stop talking right here and go ahead and share the link to this conversation. I know that there are those of you that have things you want to say and share. So I'm just sharing the link right now in the comment section. All right. So if you want to join and speak, kindly click on the link. All right. You'll be able to join and speak. All right. So whilst I'm waiting for those of you that are going to come on and speak, let me just go ahead and read your comment. If you want to speak, if you want to join me here and share your own opinion, please go ahead. And guys, let me remind you all, this live stream is not for a certain selected number of people. No, anybody can join. All right. So the link that I have shared, just go ahead and click on that and you'll be able to speak. So with Maureen's comment, Maureen said, Carol is a queen. OG Ohio said 100%. Who else? Let me see. Kelly said, you too like Carol Glory. Okay, deal with it. Erica said Toyin was trying to protect herself. She doesn't want the others to say their say, and that was not right from Toyin. Seriously. Okay, so we have Rachel and we have Steph. Other people that are trying to join, please ensure that your devices are connected. All right. Onyeka, your device is not connected. Just try as much as possible for your device to be connected. Okay. All right. So we have Steph and Rachel. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Okay. Let me see who's speaking. Is it Mariam?
Yes, please.
Hi, Mariam. Welcome to the conversation.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's hear your thoughts.
Seriously, I think in this issue, Toyin is the real problem here because Toyin is trying to manipulate other ladies out there. Because you
Hmm.
looking at things, I think Toyin is trying to have a way. She keeps going from one lady to other to tell them different kind of stories,
Hmm.
which she does not want that to happen, to allow the other ladies to spit out the bean so that she won't get caught. Toyin is the problem there. That is why she's trying to talk over Caroline.
Hmm.
But Caroline did a very great job. Seriously, in fact, I give Caroline kudos yesterday. I was so happy because she didn't act as if she was being like, I want to fight with you. I just
Yeah,
want to speak out my mind.
yeah,
This is me. Let people see me for who I am. And that is the best thing a lady, in fact, a woman can actually do. Because
exactly.
they all have kids. At the end of the day, every kids actually watch this. So what are you going to tell your kids at the end of the day? You'll be bass most mother. I'll be waiting. Toyin
Mm-hmm.
actually prove herself to the world, the kind of mother she is, the kind of a lady she is. And that really hurts my mind because I put Toyin in a very high esteem. So it really hurts my mind ever since everybody we've been talking down on Toyin, but I was just like, let's wait for this reunion of a thing. But immediately I watched that reunion yesterday, I knew Toyin really fucked up. She really fucked up because she goes to Iyabo, tell Iyabo another story about other ladies, go to Laura, tell Laura other things about other, especially about Caroline. And you yourself, you knew that Caroline has issues with Linda, not with Laura.
Yeah.
But Laura is trying to side her sister. She's trying to
Mm.
be on her sister's back. Laura never had any issues with Caroline.
Mm.
It was Linda that has issue with Caroline. And all things that what is to call it, Tiannah has been telling Laura, then Laura is now acting all together with that.
Mm.
Because it was so clear. Okay, what did Caroline tell you? What have you heard about Caroline? What has Caroline said at the back? You were saying, hey, I don't know, maybe they were in the school or they made a PhD. I don't know where she said they met. But at the end of the day, it was nothing. Nothing. Because it is what you people showed us. That is what we are going to speak on. It was
Exactly.
nothing. So seriously, Toyin, I don't know if you're watching this. I'm really down because I never expected this from you. I don't know.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you very much,
welcome.
Mariam. For a
You're
second,
welcome.
I was actually hoping it was the Mariam from the Real Housewives. I was already
Ah,
preparing questions.
no.
I was already preparing questions.
No, it was Mariam from Gemio. I beg you. No.
No, this is the first time I am seeing a Mariam on my
No.
live stream coming to
Oh,
speak. So in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, we have someone from that. But really, thank you. Thanks for
you're
sharing.
welcome. All right. Take care.
All
Bye.
right. Okay, so let's move on to Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Gloria. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. You're so welcome. Good job.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I saw the reunion yesterday, and I have to be honest with you. before Real Housewife actually started, I was following Toyin, I was following Laura, I was following Iyabo, and then when Real Housewife started, I started following Chioma. And when I noticed all the backlash Caroline was getting from the ladies, I started following Caroline. And yesterday just kind of like solidified my reason for following her. Because obviously she seems to be like the most mature person there. Number one, if you are blaming somebody for something, let the person speak up for themselves. Like the same thing happened with Laura. Laura wouldn't let the girl speak. Now, Tiannah won't let her speak. You say she is lying. Let her lie. And then you can come and counter what she said. But she gave you the floor. When it's her turn, do the same thing. At least show courtesy. You guys are being seen as role models. All the shouting and telling somebody your mother is deaf. Remember, Toyin actually called her mother deaf first before Caroline called her mother and her father. And then Caroline called her son, and then she's shouting, "Why will you call my son? Why will you call my son's name?" She didn't say her son's name in a bad way. She just said Tiannah's father, or whatever. And then she took it upon her, "You're calling my son. Why will you call my son?" But you called her mother first, and I love the way Caroline stood up for herself. There's an extent you keep pushing someone's button and then the person's gonna turn around and give it right back to you. She stood up for herself with Laura when Laura was like, "I'm an Igbo woman, and it's an abomination to cheat." Like you said it rightly yesterday, all tribes, we all have abomination when it comes to cheating. All tribes in Nigeria got it. So what is the big deal about? We see Igbo women that cheat, so forget that thing. It don't mean jack. It's all BS. So I mean, you said this girl sleeps with small boys. She's saying she saw you being pimped. So she's not gonna take it back. And the fact that she owned it with her chest and she wasn't a coward, girl, kudos to you. Like, I raised my hat for you. Like, she didn't take it back. And I saw Laura's face when she told Laura she's not gonna take it back. Laura was like shocked, and Laura was thinking to corner her in a corner and say, "Oh, you heard it, you didn't see it." She thought Caroline didn't fall for that. Caroline said, "I won't be there when she's doing her shit. The same way she wasn't there when small boys were doing me. I wasn't there when she's doing, and I own it with my chest. I'm not taking it back." When you guys say things, mean it with your chest. Don't take it back. The girl didn't take it back. And Iyabo was looking at Laura to like, gang, gang, say your own. And for me, Uti isn't doing a good job. Like the same thing you said, I expected Uti to ask Laura some certain things about the small boy issue. But Uti kind of like allowed Tiannah and Caroline back and forth get out of hand. You know, you don't do that. You should be able to take charge of your stage. And he wasn't doing that. To me, that was a bit let down. I didn't think he did a good job. And I hope to see him do something better, the next time they all sit together. Whoever's talking to him needs to do a better job because he's not doing it at all. He's not bringing it on. And I saw him read some things from Twitter. Apparently, he read things that favored certain people and make people look down. To me, don't do that. Kind of like if you're not going to bring the whole picture to the table, then don't bring anything at all. I mean, it shows you in a bad light. Chioma, I'm expecting to. I know she definitely had. I saw a preview of when Tiannah said something about meat being bad in Chioma. Tiannah, that one, she has issues she's got to work on. She thinks she's the king of fashion. I don't know where she gets it from. The costume she makes, to each his own. It's not everybody's taste, but whatever. And I hope to see something better. This round one, as far as I'm concerned, Caroline, my girl, keep it pushing. You're doing a wonderful job. And to you, Gloria, thank you so much for taking out time for us to come on live and talk. I do appreciate it. And I appreciate your hard work.
Thank
Keep it up,
you.
girl. You're welcome, honey.
And thank you very much for, mentioning the tweet. I felt the exact same way. When I
Mm.
saw this tweet, I felt like, oh my God, there were hundreds of thousands of tweets on Twitter.
Mhm.
The show
Mhm.
aired for, I think, 2 months. There were millions even of tweets. Why did you pick just those specific ones?
Mm-hmm.
It did not really make sense at all. It did not really
Made
make
no
sense.
sense. Mm-mm.
And
Thank you,
somehow
babe.
I'm trying not to go really hard on Uti because sometimes production has their own say in these things, So I
Mm.
don't want to say, oh, Uti did it. I'm trying to keep an open mind that maybe the producers they have a certain direction they want the show to go. That's the reunion, so they would, always bring in their own quota. We want to
Yeah.
go with.
Yeah, but that direction should hurry up and come because Uti is losing the floor. If you're gonna let Tiannah interject and scream out and say, no, it doesn't work like that.
Mm,
Uti's losing the floor.
mm.
Okay, girl,
Thank
having said
you.
that, you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
All right. So let's move on to Steph. Hi, Steph. Let me unmute you so that we can hear you. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Gloria. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're welcome to the conversation.
Oh, thank you. Hope you're doing all right.
Yes, yes. Let's hear
Yeah.
your own opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to talk about, when you said that people said that Caroline didn't say hi to the ladies. She did. When she walked in, she said, "Hi, ladies." And then she sat
Mm,
down. You know what I mean? The ladies were not even looking at her. They were just like frowning their faces and all that. So
yeah.
another point I was going to make is Mariam. I feel like there's a clique. And obviously, like in Real Housewife, normally people just like you just get to make friends in the show. You don't know the people don't normally know people. It's just like, oh, you get into the show, there's like ladies there, and you get to know them and make your own friendships. You know what I mean? But with Mariam and Toyi or Tiannah, whatever, and Laura, they're all like a clique. Whereby obviously Tiannah, she went out obviously telling these girls about Caroline and everything, like brainwashing them and telling them things, information. Because when Mariam said, "Oh, the streets are talking," obviously Tiannah told you about her baby daddy, and
Mm,
about because you don't even have no proof. There's nothing about Caroline online that she's sleeping with anybody. It's only Toyin that is making that comment saying that, oh, Caroline slept with her baby daddy and whatever, or I don't know, her ex-husband or whatever. So
mm,
that's what they comment to the show. They don't have no proof. There's no evidence, and it's like this sort of like trash talking, like putting a woman down, like, oh, she's a whore or she's this, she's that, sleeping around, whatever. That to me is just pathetic because obviously,
mm,
it's just a lot. So obviously, like what I feel like they need to come back on another season, and I feel like Mariam needs to go because obviously because what I feel like, because I feel like Mariam is she's gonna stick to Toyi because when there was that party, was it Laura's party, and they had that meeting, but Caroline didn't turn up and Choma didn't turn up. And then
mm,
obviously Mariam had a meeting with Choma, and obviously she invited the girls to come. And when they had like after the fashion show, when they were sitting down, when I think Choma left and Caroline left, and they were sitting there. It was Laura and it was Toyi and it was Mariam. They were sitting down and they were talking. And then she asked who invited them, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I invited them." And Toyi's like, "That shows that you're not my friend."
mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She said, "That
I
shows that you're not my
remember.
friend." So it's like this sort of like manipulative behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you have to do everything like a bully. Like if you're not on my
Mm,
side, then you're not my friend, and I'm not going to talk to you. And obviously, these girls probably there's something that Toy is offering them outside the show that they need her friendship, so they're going to be licking asses. You know what I mean? Because at
mhm,
the end of the day, everyone should have their own mind. Like, what is this? Like, oh, I'm the big bully and everybody needs to be, if I tell you not to be friend with this certain person, because I feel like if Mariam came with a plain mind, she would be friend with Caroline. Because I feel like she really she liked Caroline. She likes Caroline. But I feel like it's what Toya have said to her about Caroline, and she's my worst enemy, blah blah blah. And that's why obviously Mariam is coming to the show and judging every little detail, the handshake, this, this.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And even the part where they were saying that she was saying that, oh, when she was having the shots, and then Caroline, she watched later, and she said that Caroline was saying a lot of things. Laura was saying a lot of things as well. She was like, oh, look at this girl. She just come in here. She's just like, oh my days. The way she just, everyone was making comments. Why is it only Caroline that you're only pointing out to? That shows that there is something in it. Like Toyin has brainwashed you. She has said a lot of crap about Caroline. You're coming here attacking. You're not even coming here with an open mind. So the section where Tiannah, she just there distracting everybody. She's not letting anybody talk. She's a big bully. She's a victim, professional victim player. She's just there talking over everybody. Like she's not letting anybody make the comment because she knows she's a liar. Because they gave her the floor. Say what you want to say. Because the host asked, what beef do you and Caroline have? What's the problem? What went wrong in your friendship, in your relationship? And for when, and then she's like, she's just like, oh, it was 13 years ago, and this, that, la, 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 la. She didn't really say anything. And then obviously Caroline, we don't even know what Caroline was even going to say. Probably the argument would not even have happened. Probably Caroline was just going to explain like, oh, we just met each other, this, that. But then she just started like, oh no, she just started countering and just interjecting and just like talking over Caroline, like, all these things, and started speaking a language. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like everybody there are from different culture. Why are you speaking your language on stage? Because they don't understand what you're saying. You're cursing people in your language. Like, are you okay? And the fact that the host is not even like interjecting, saying, okay, you know what, enough, let's move on, and just letting them and letting Tiannah, before Caroline starts speaking her own language and insulting Tiannah back, what is this? There needs to be rules and regulation because everybody in Nigeria, we've got like 200 and something languages. A lot of, everybody come from different tribes. You could not be speaking your language on stage and insulting people. They don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just imagine there is a Real Housewife of Atlanta, and I'm from Belgium, and this other lady is from Germany, and then you're speaking your language. Okay, like in Belgium, like there's two languages, there's Flemish and there's French, and then we had like a reunion, and someone is speaking French. I don't understand what they're saying, and you're insulting me in your language. I'm not even getting what you're saying. That is so distracting. That is so ridiculous, and I feel like this needs to change because at the end of the day, this is because I feel like Toyin, she's just so immature. Like extremely immature. Like, what are you doing? Like, let this lady speak and make her point. And now you're going below the belt. She's stated her point. You're like, oh, you didn't listen to what she was saying because you were talking over her, speaking your language, insulting her in your language. And then now you're telling her to repeat what you said. She's saying to you, were you deaf when I was saying what I was saying? Obviously, because you were busy talking. And now you're insulting her dad, saying, oh, your dad is the one that is deaf. And then she said to you, your mom and dad is dead. And that, oh, my mom and dad is, you're just a professional victim. My mom and dad is dead. If you know your mom and dad is dead, then you should not insult somebody else's mom and dad. Because you don't know whether Caroline's dad is dead as well.
All right, Steph. Thank you very much, Steph. Thank you very much. And I think most of these show producers, they need to learn that sometimes excessive drama becomes very, very boring. And they did the same thing with the Big Brother Nigeria Union. When two people will be bickering at the same time, it becomes noise. In communication, that's what we call it. It becomes noise when no message is being passed. You're just talking over each other over and over and over. It gets tiring. If it goes on for maybe 1 minute, it could be exciting. And that's when the ovation is still high. But the moment it crosses maybe 1 minute, it becomes exhausting. Because now you're like, okay, where do we go from here? What happens next? So I guess they were probably trying to use that drama to end that particular part one, and it would have been a bang. But the fact that they didn't just allow us to even hear anything reasonable, the little we're hearing was the insult. It just got really exhausted. But really, thanks, Steph. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, I was on Twitter space yesterday that Showmax organized, and Daryl was on that space, and people said a lot of things, and I'm hoping that they're taking corrections from all of these things, and hopefully in part two we will not be really disappointed, but we will never know. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. Okay, let me move on to Abby. Abby, are you there? Hi, Abby. Okay, let me unmute you. Abby, are you ready to speak?
I'm here, Glory. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're welcome.
Hi. I really love your analysis. It's really, really very factual.
Thank you.
I want to talk about Toyin.
Okay.
Now, first of all, I would say with all my chest that Toyin is very delusional. I see her having very, very delusional, and I won't say paranoid, but for some reason she's delusional and paranoid. And this comes out even you see when she talks about herself. She puts herself as in she sees things beyond what they really are. That's what I see. Now, Toyin had been friends with most of the housemates before the show. And if you could see from even the very first episode, when Iyabo was giving her confessional, she said, Caroline, Toyin had told me stuff about Caroline before I met her. But meeting her, I see her, she's a very beautiful lady. Now, when Laura spoke, Laura said, Toyin had told me things about Caroline. When Mariam spoke, Mariam said, Toyin had told me things about Caroline. Now, Toyin had already subconsciously poisoned the minds of these ladies before they even met Caroline. And they were so biased. Because if somebody had been telling me things about someone I never met, there's no how when I meet the person, I won't have that eye to be looking at that person. So to some extent, Caroline came to that show dealing with people that already had bias about her. So it didn't matter what she did. They already had it subconsciously that, oh, somebody had told me that this girl is bad. Somebody had told, so I don't expect anything good from her. So she had to struggle with all of that. Unfortunately, I think probably that was why she got close to Chioma, because maybe she was feeling, well, with all of you had already had your mind set up. Maybe Chioma is the only neutral person amongst us. And I must respect Caroline very much, because that environment alone, for her to even have done all she was doing with all this that happened in the show at the reunion, it shows that Caroline was really going through a lot. Because dealing with all of this, and then she was still able to put up, compose herself, and go on with the show. She had really tried.
Do you know? Sorry
Toyin,
for cutting you short. Do you know that there was an interview she had with on Clubhouse? I don't know if it's true. I'm just saying what she said. She said for the entire duration of them shooting the show, she had to deal with a lot of lies, a lot of accusations, a lot of manipulation. And the thing with Caroline is sometimes she does not bother going into details. I wish she will, so that at least people will really know what's happening. And sometimes it comes back to bite her in the ass because when she doesn't really want to give details like that, people just take it that okay, she's lying. But please continue.
yes, look at it. People saying that Caroline is like she was mature. There are people like that in life. They just find themselves being in the midst of people that are jealous of them. Over time, they start growing strength. You see that the way she composed her, the way she acted, is so that she has dealt with a lot. So now she has gotten to a point in her life that, I would have to stand up for myself. And that's how she was able to stand up for herself without the help of anybody, because it was obvious. Caroline is a very beautiful lady. I don't know who would doubt that. Nobody can doubt that in that show. She's a very beautiful lady. She composes herself. And to a very large extent, she was very humble. Her coming down, I could see there was almost no place she couldn't come to. Even when she didn't like someone, she still tried. Mariam coming and saying that Caroline didn't shake her was only because Mariam already had a biased mind towards her. So she was expecting her to not greet her. So when she greeted her, she just had to look for something to say, saying that she didn't shake her, and she did. But because you don't like her, you didn't meet her, you didn't like her, didn't give her a chance. And look at how that argument went from 100 to 10 to 100 during the show when they were talking about Iyabo. All of this just boils down to the fact that Toyin had successfully planted these seeds in this woman's mind about Caroline in the first place. And look at what Toyin was saying. What moral justification does Toyin have to call Caroline a prostitute? We know Toyin's story. We know Caroline's story. Toyin doesn't have any moral justification to call everybody. We are all ladies. Anybody can do anything. We all look for us. Everybody, there's no time in your life. You're probably trying to find yourself, trying to get yourself set. Some people are just even trying to discover themselves, and you can get through go through a lot of mess. That is normal. But you have no right to be calling somebody a prostitute when you yourself, we know that you are still trying to figure yourself out. So why would you come on the show and start saying that this, and it even got so bad that when she ran out of things to say, because she was definitely obviously had no point, she had no basis, no valid thing to speak on her. She started saying, well, her pubic hair are white. Does that even make any sense? She was saying it in that was because I'm Yoruba, I heard it. And I said all our pubic hair are already white. Does that even make any sense?
I'm sorry again, Abby. Let me jump and say this. Yeah, you know when people say accuse Caroline of always slut shaming women in arguments, I say that's a very huge lie because one thing I've noticed about Caroline's own line of insults is if you throw one at her, she will throw two back at you. That is Caroline's line of insult. If you don't insult her, she will not insult you. So this time around, I hope people could see and tell that Toyin started with the slut shaming, but nobody is really pointing that out because hey, Caroline is the one. Please continue, Abby.
Toyin is, I don't know if it's jealousy or envy. There's something that Toyin has against Caroline. And because she has not been able to bring her down with whatever she has been doing, she has tried different things against her. And she has been so good at masking it because if not for that reunion show, we won't have been able to figure out what exactly what the problem is. We just know that they were just angry. People were just angry with Caroline. We couldn't really figure out, was Caroline that bad? Honestly, if you look at how she acted in the show, there is really nothing that she has done in that show that has proved that she's a prostitute according to what they are saying. Now, Mariam made a statement. She said, the streets are talking. I wrote something on the YouTube. I said, everything Mariam knows about Caroline was told to her by Toyin. Is Mariam calling Toyin the street? Is Mariam saying that Toyin is the one that is the street? Because if you are saying the streets are talking, someone that you don't know, and you are telling us that the streets are talking, that means you are saying that Toyin is the street.
Of course.
So that means we can tell you that Toyin is talking. Just go ahead and say that Toyin is talking because now we didn't know that all of this, they had a history like this and they were talking about, oh, you slept with this guy. We didn't know about it. I heard everything because I'm Yoruba. I heard everything she said in English or Yoruba. And if you want me to tell you what she was saying, she was just saying rubbish. Saying our pubic hair was all white and now everybody has slept with her and this, and she has slept with 400 men and that. Now, I don't know how that is anybody's business or how that has anything to do with the show. But it's obvious that show, those women are already been biased towards Caroline before we at the beginning of the show, and that affected Caroline. And kudos to Caroline. Caroline was still able to pull it through. People like that, I'm sure Caroline had dealt with people like this a lot. Like, according to our own side of the story, she said she took Toyin in. Toyin lived in her place for a month or 2 months. She took Toyin, and when she found out the kind of person she was, she stopped talking to her. And there was one thing Caroline said years ago, 12 years ago, the reason why she stopped talking to her was because she was always talking about her to other people. And even till today, Toyin is still doing the same thing. Why would you be talking about one person for 12 years? For God's sake. For God's sake, can't you grow up? And you're still saying it, or you are still saying the same story on stage. What is it? Don't you like? I don't get it.
All right,
Toyin
Abby.
needs a lot of therapy. She needs a lot. And I don't know.
Thank you.
I said it earlier. I said she's very delusional. Her
All right.
creativity, and if you look at her dresses, some things she says, some things she does, we are still trying to, as in there's a disconnect with reality. And even some of our dresses are not even practical. They are not real. Our designs are not realistic. So she has a lot of things in her mind that she needs to resolve. I would
All right,
suggest
Abby.
therapy for her. I would really
Thank
suggest
you.
that because there's so many things that is going on.
Mm.
I don't know if she had, childhood, whatever, but there's still so many things she needs to resolve on her own self personally. For Caroline,
All right,
I don't have an
Abby.
issue with her. Now, for every other housewife,
Abby,
if they are listening,
hold on, Abby. Hold on, Abby. So it's obvious that you really have a lot to share, and there are other people in line that have been waiting. So if you can just stick around, okay? You will definitely speak again. All right,
okay,
please.
all right.
All right. Thank you so much, Abby. All right. Let's move on to Olori. Olori, are you there?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon,
Hi, good
Glory.
afternoon. You are welcome. You're welcome. Welcome.
How are you? Your gown is beautiful, by the way.
You. Thank you.
Um, I, I felt like I had a lot to say, but it's like Abby was taking it. She was just taking it from my notes. But I personally feel like the whole show is trying to sabotage Caroline, and that's not fair
Hmm.
because why are you allowing all these women speak but Caroline? And she said, gone. I no just understand. She's still bougie. Alaye, drop the bouginess. Talk. Spill what you need to spill. Let us understand where all this long time hate and beef is coming from because I'm confused.
They will not allow her speak.
As in, she's trying to speak and that one is shutting her up. Chioma too. Because I saw a clip, I'm like, oh Chioma too, you safe. As in, hey God. Bird, small bird don't they behave like peacock. Nah See, it's crazy. I just feel like it's not fair. It's not fair, honestly. And you see that role that Miriam is playing. People are saying Miriam. I'm angry because I actually liked Miriam from the beginning, and I'm like, okay, so but why are you behaving like the class captain that a rich kid, a rich kid is giving bribe and everything, and then you have to come and pick on this particular person because if you don't do it, your next meal is going to be off your table. That's how Miriam is behaving. Because okay, so what's your problem with Caroline? Exactly. You cannot say it. It's just because of the seeds that Tiannah has sown. And then why is everybody feeling like they cannot talk to Iyabo Ojo? Who is she? I don't
Ah,
understand. Who is it that they cannot talk to? And she's coming, yeah, me, Iyabo, like me. I'm like, who are you, please? Are you God? Is it you pass like this? If you fuck up, they need to treat your fuck up, man. It doesn't even make any sense. And I actually felt like she was supposed to be the most mature person, and she didn't act mature at all. You are cornering Chioma to jump Caroline, and you think that your friendship with Chioma will work like that. It's not going to work. And I still feel like there's a lot. They will still clash. Chioma, Iyabo, Caroline, Tiannah, Laura, Iyabo. Like they will still clash. Except maybe Showmax is not trying to give us all of that. But I know that that clash is inevitable. Even Mariam is still going to clash with some of those ladies because how do you have a friendship built on um mutual hate for one
yeah.
person, just one person? How did you even, and besides, I'm even asking, okay, so now what's the essence of this show? Because I felt like I was supposed to see how Nigerian women grow from grace to grass, show their businesses, how they can manage marriage together with their businesses, how they can, you get, like, okay, let's see all the glitz and glamour and the pain, the struggles and everything. But the whole thing is just looking like a reunion for glamour girls kind of situation. Like, stop laughing, I beg. It's really, really annoying. I don't get it. And then that one is saying that everyone has your man except you. Abi, what did she even say? Said everyone is trying to have your man but you. And I'm like, okay, what's bringing Nengi into this discussion? Please leave her alone. People should go and settle your problem. The way people are settling this, leave my girl alone. Like, I'm just confused. It's crazy. Oh. It's crazy. Showmax is doing Caroline dirty, and I think they need to do better, honestly. And they have a very, very, I don't know. The fact that they don't allow us see that fight is still annoying because I still don't know what to analyze. I still don't know what to make of all of this. Okay, so now I'm trying to even be on somebody's side. I can't be on anybody's side. I just
You
feel
know,
like there's a whole gang up
what is
against
said?
Caroline, and it's not fair.
No, what is said was that the camera crew had gone to their
Yeah, they're going
apartment.
to sleep. Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And that's why to tomorrow, I cannot say about that fight. I cannot say who is right or wrong. I can only judge based on what we are seeing
It's
on the
crazy.
show. So if you want to
Yeah.
pick a side from what you are seeing on the show.
So that,
Yes.
okay, and then there's this how do they call it now? Okay, I'm trying to get to you, then I insult your family syndrome that these women have. And it's really, really low. Bottom barrel, honestly, for me, because okay, you want to face me, don't come for my family. But when you come for my family or more, hey, I will jump you anytime. And Caroline did not even insult Tiannah, to be honest. She did not insult her. She just said, Tenor's dad. What did she even say? And Tiannah was saying, don't say that. But you insulted her that her mom was deaf. Abi who was deaf? Abi who was the same thing with Chioma too. Chioma called Caroline a bastard first. So by the time that she now decided to reply, you're not feeling like well, Gloria beg. It gives me a headache. These two women are giving me headache.
Thank you so much. Oh my god, so funny. Okay, let's have Ofyong. Hi. Ofyong, are you there?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, Glory.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hi. You're welcome to the conversation.
Yeah, this is Sofyong again from
I
Houston.
got you correctly.
All right.
Ofyong.
Yeah, remember me? We talked about Ekpon Kawo the other time.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay.
You know what, You see, I'm so happy you're here. You see that,
Okay.
before you say anything, please, let me just indulge you for a bit. You see that part where Laura was talking about she's married to an evil man, cheating is a taboo. You know, that part really cracked me up. And it was that conversation we had about Tega and Boma from Baby Niger that first came to my mind, you know, about the Epon Kawo thing. And I was
Yeah.
explaining that, listen, every tribe in Nigeria, cheating is forbidden. It's an abomination. And they have one level of punishment or the other, you know, to
Yeah.
that effect. So I
Yeah.
want to thank you especially for enlightening us on that conversation because that was what really informed what I understood, you know, from what she was saying. But please carry on.
Okay. All right. So I have to say good afternoon to everyone. And Doria, you're doing a very wonderful job. And then what was the highlight for me was actually Caroline's entrance. That was epic. You know, all of them losing hope. Okay, she wasn't coming, and then she walked in such a majestic fashion, and then she could say hello, ladies, and then none of them. For all I care,
Mm.
Caroline did not care, so she went, sat down, and then Uti also did his thing because I know Uti is a comedian. He was like, ladies, no one is saying hi to Caroline, and then they were all like moping. So why would they
Mm.
do that? Okay, this is someone that came in, greeted you guys, no matter what kind of beef you had in the past. She came in, said hello. It's only very polite and courteous to just say hello back. But like we know Caroline, she cares less. So she went, sat down, and I really, really like that part. And then also the argument between Caroline and Laura. I like it that she always stands up for herself because Laura, if you can say Caroline sleeps with small boys, and then you came with that uh, sentimental talk of okay, I'm a married woman, and then you know what it means, like, oh girl, bone that shit. You know, this thing they say it okay, it's a taboo, it's taboo, they all sleep, married women, no disrespect, they sleep with men every other time and then nothing happens. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and I know there are places like my place that is so very strict. Some places, not even like all of them. There are some places that are really very strict on this adultery of the thing. But you still see people doing it. Women are still doing it. And then some of them, they don't care, you know. So that wasn't
Yeah.
like anything authentic for her to use as a reason for not. So if you can say that about Caroline, and then of course Caroline, I trust the girl, she know they keep her home for house. She, in a very subtle way, Caroline would give it to you, and I really, really applaud her for always standing up for herself. So, and also from yesterday, we also saw that even the people Laura thought were on her own side were also speaking ill about her. She had to
Mm.
confess that after the show, she had to go through all the episodes and then now saw that Caroline was even the person that said the least thing about her. So that tells you the kind of person Caroline is. And then for Tiannah, for Toyin, I feel she has something she's hiding because you can't be talking over everyone. Okay, they gave you your own floor to speak. You said all you had to say, and then some other person is trying to talk, and then you're speaking over them. And then Uti did not do a good job. Fine, he's a good compare. He hosts events properly, but then for yesterday, he did not do it right. He didn't get it right because you should take charge as the person anchoring the show. There should be control. This person has spoken. Okay, you had your own floor to speak. Let the other person talk. So for me, I think there was something Tiannah did not want to be let out, and then she kept speaking over Caroline, and then interjecting, and then she went vulgar. That was very, very, very unwomanly. The kind of thing she said, and then from all the translation I saw, I said, "Oh God, this is not good enough, Tiannah. You could do better." And then also for Mariam, he said, "Okay, the streets are talking. Why don't you just go ahead and say Tiannah is talking, or Toyin Toyin is talking?"
Hold on.
And then Caroline, for who she is, okay, the streets are talking. I have no control. Man, that was another thing she did that I said, "Girl, you know how to stand up for yourself." Okay, I have no control over what the street is talking about. And you too can go ahead and open your ears to everything you have to listen to, but then that doesn't change who I am, and I know my worth. So I give it to Caroline. Thank you, Glory. Let me give the floor to others to talk. I really
Thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to Duper Oluwade. Hi, Duper.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Duper.
Hey,
You're welcome.
thank you. In fact, I'm always looking out for Saturday because I know this is where we're going to carry the knife and pieces
Yeah.
all the things that they thought they are packing together. I have always told you, Glo. Thank you very much. We all appreciate what you're doing. Amazing,
Thank
amazing
you.
scripts. We expected Uti to manifest the way it's manifesting. Am I surprised? Definitely no. Uti tried. But I tell you, Uti doesn't have experience to handle this kind of reunion show. It doesn't. And he's also afraid, I will use that word, to encroach into some dangerous territories.
True.
That affected the way he's asking the question.
Yeah, that was
Because there
obvious.
are some events that came before the other. I don't know what they have lined up for the next edition in the reunion show, but there are some events that were really offensive and poison triggered, that he should have poked, and he has refused to do it, especially when he has to do with Iyabo in particular. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Iyabo didn't, like, I like the previous speakers that said Iyabo didn't play a mature role that he was supposed to sell. Obviously, and all of them put together, they're afraid of it, including Uti now. It's so sad. Because for me, the role that Yabo played caused a lot of intimidation, caused a lot of bullying, caused a lot of harassment. That is very unique or those are very unique in any relationship. There's no way you find Yabo's kind of role and you find healthy relationship. It cannot work. So I expected Uti to delve into that, especially because they came before Caroline's issues. Caroline's issues came much later in the series. And yet you could dwell so much in that. I'm coming to that. Now, I also have struggled with this word reunion. I don't know what purpose it's supposed to serve. My last talk, I said they should look for another name to call it. What are you reunioning when you think it's feeling more troubles?
They should call it
The,
revelation.
Yeah, honestly, I don't understand because you end up being your sworn enemy. You end up being, you don't want to see each other. After reunion, it get worse. So they should find a name to call it. This video, they are abusing that word. For me, they should look for another name sincerely to call it. Now, I've talked about this sequence in the way the questions have been answered. I'm also going to talk about Tiannah. Tiannah had bottled up a lot of things. I don't know why that girl rates herself more than what she thinks she is. Sincerely, I'm one of the persons who cannot relate to Tiannah's fashion style. I don't know what Africans, I don't know why Nigerians or Africans are getting carried away with this kind of wild look. And that has made her put herself above everybody else. If there's any issue that Tiannah has with Chioma, I bet it with you, it is because of fashion. And whether she likes it or not, a whole lot of people will relate with what Chioma puts together than this masquerader kind of display that she does. Even she herself couldn't sit in one of the, I think it was one of the Lache shows. What she put together to herself, she could not even sit down. Who does that? You will entangle yourself in the name of fashion. And then she's now, instead of her to say, maybe this is not fit for this purpose, she's saying, no, I want to recreate, and they are helping her to remove the nonsense that she put in front of her. Honestly, that girl has inferiority complex. She needs to deal with it. And this self-acclaimed kinship that she's claiming, that is getting her solely. Now, the next episode I'm looking forward to it because I saw that she actually wanted to beat up Chioma. For two reasons, I'm very happy that this is happening. Chioma needs to be beaten for betrayal, for this kind of immature kind of attitude that she has. However, where I'm driving at this today is, okay, you did so that much of conversation with Caroline. It is only Mariam that is in between the both of you. Why won't you attack Caroline? Because you know that one would beat silly out of her. Everybody know in level. You were sitting with Chioma, you were trading words with each other. Why won't you get up and go and think you want to beat Caroline? It is, you can squeeze Mariam and throw her away. You walked across to go and beat Chioma because you know, okay, I size this one up. I feel beat up. I can beat. Can you see all of them doing psychological training for each other? Now, why would Tiannah go that route? You call this girl bastard first. She called you bastard. You said, I love the person that spoke. You said you don't have parents. Why did you bring your parents into it? Why did you abuse somebody else? And I want, like we all agree, don't find Caroline's trouble. She can be so civil. She can be so modest. But sincerely, she's one person again who will say, go to hell. And she will help you to open the door of the hell and you will walk in by yourself with what she will put together. And whether she's lying or not, I honestly cannot see place her. But she would do it with class and confidence. You that has the truth, your leg will shake. Give thumbs up for that, her majesty that she called herself. Because she will help you to package it up. Now, I also appreciate, you were running the commentary, you said their cosmetics in the first. I felt somehow with the cosmetics. I don't know why they did that, whether it's light, I don't know. Because it completely changed most of them. Look at Laura. We have had more than enough on Laura. I don't even want to talk about Laura, but I had issues with the kind of face she was wearing yesterday. It doesn't look like her. The same thing goes to, I think this same Caroline, their makeup, I don't know what they did. Now, Mariam, that one. I've told you that Mariam is not what many of us think she is. That one will leave Tiannah's house any day. She can't stand for herself. So don't be surprised that she has also heard enough, just like Laura has had enough. She has also heard more than enough from Tiannah, who is this brain box in the negative way now, cracking people's head behind the scene. Now, Mariam also have heard more than enough from Tiannah, and that is why you see her ganging up, and she thinks she has won people's heart on the show, and therefore she can attack, maybe softly attack Caroline. Oh, that girl will chew out. She doesn't even have the body to match up with that. So what I'm saying in necessary that other people can talk is, I don't like the role of Chioma. I've said it over and over again. I will be willing to see, the way I talk, to see where they beat Chioma. I'm looking for one person that will beat Chioma up, to teach her a lesson. She's a small girl. She needs to learn decorum in the community. For the fact that you're having accent and you're speaking English does not mean people, Nigerians, Africans, the world at large, they can understand what makes up personality. And honestly, she has one kind of offensive personality that I couldn't relate with, even in the program now. Look at the time that Uti gave her that best latecomer. Some people will make a joke of it. But you could see that she was, you read people's countenance. She was already offended. She was already really not happy about that. But you were bragging with it in the house that you were ready to pick up, and they help you to find a symbol of your of your chieftaincy title, and then you were taking offense. Look at the way she flipped it off. And then finally, so that other people can talk, I want to believe that Caroline deliberately came the way she came. Unfortunately for all of them, she sized them up. Caroline has pre-look up, we understood what is these people would do. Remember in episode 12, she was not there. They had their phone. They excluded her. I love the way she does her thing. She can fight you, but the next minute, life continues. That's Caroline for you. She might still come back later, but when there is fun, let us have the fun. We can decide to pick the trouble up somewhere ahead. That's the kind of personality that Caroline has. For people like that, I tell you, they can really stand for themselves. They can size any community and they'll put them in their palms. And that is why you see that she has good grip at every point that she's featuring. She has a very, very good grip because she will have read them, preempted what they will have done, and she'll come after. She will not end up winning. Let me tell us, we are not signing Caroline. Caroline also has a baggage full of excesses that we can discuss, but I tell you, she's shining more than all of them, even in whatever baggage she has, because she could manage it. She could manage all of them and manage their personality. So that's the way I see it. All of them with grandiose delusion. I like somebody who mentioned grandiose delusion. All of them with grandiose delusion, they better go and drop that ego and be normal and teach us what Real Housewives of Lagos they're supposed to be in the sense of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dupe. Please, on behalf of Chioma, I want to beg if we should leave Chioma for me. If we should leave Chioma for me, please. We don't want Chioma to be beaten, please. But what you said about, Chioma being taught a lesson, in a way, I'm kind of scared for Chioma because Iyabo is friends with Toyin. Toyin is friends with Mariam. What I foresee, and this is not me being a harbinger of negativity, but what I foresee is Chioma has thrown herself in a mix of entitled women. Iyabo has some sense of entitlement that she has portrayed on the show. Toyin carries entitlement on her head like a crown. Mariam is very entitled. Oh, the way you greeted me. Oh, the way you looked at me. Oh, the way you sniffed me. Oh, the way you breathed around me. Mariam is very entitled. And Chioma is not one individual that thrives well in that kind of mix. And from what we've seen, Shioma's friendship with Caroline did not have that level of entitlement. That was why both of them could actually flow with each other for the duration they were together. So what I foresee is Chioma might struggle in that kind of mix because there's also the part where she and Toyin, there's this silent competition for who wants to reign as the fashion queen. Chioma is not intentionally doing it, but Toyin is outrightly doing it. So there's no way Chioma is going to be friends with Iyabo that she will not really have to flow and mix with Toyin on the show. That is if they are all coming back for another season. So if what Dubai is talking about beating Chioma, I'm interpreting it in my head as she learning her own lesson in that kind of way. All right, but just leave it at that, guys. We sue for peace. We are not looking for everybody to beat Chioma for us. Please. Chioma is still a fave. All right, thank you so much, Dupe. Let's move on to Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Let me unmute you so that we can hear you. Hello. Okay. Let's have Annie. Annie, are you ready to speak?
I am. Can you guys hear me?
Perfectly. You're welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. This is the first time I'm catching you live. I always like watch.
Yes!
Yeah.
You're
I'm
welcome.
always so mad at myself. I'm like, oh my god, I need to catch you live. I love your channel. I love
Thank
you.
you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
You're welcome. See, I've been listening to what everybody has to say. I'm just going to go straight to the point. I'm not a fan of. See, at first, when I started watching this show, I was open minded. I liked Iyabo, and Yoruba, obviously, and from uh online, like about that rape issue. I really liked her, and I was very
Mm.
open minded. I liked Toyin. I thought Toyin was like very funny at first. Is it confessions? Like our confessions, like is always very funny at first. But
Yeah.
later I started liking Chioma, Iyabo, and Caroline. I would say, okay, I like the three of them. But I don't know, honestly, like it just from the other Caroline, the other time when she fought with Chioma, I like Caroline, right? I told you I like three of them. I didn't like one thing I don't like about Caroline is when she's fighting with you, she goes like she doesn't do, oh, let's fight to be able to like settle tomorrow. She goes all out. And this reunion now opened my eyes. I feel like they've cut and like the episodes, I feel like they cut some things because this reunion now opened my eyes to so many things. Like, for example, when Toyin said, your mother is deaf, like, is your father that is deaf? And she said, yeah, she was like, is your father and mother? And she's now looking at her with sympathy face, like they are dead. She's like, they are deaf in the grave. I literally screamed. I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
so honestly, I don't care what happened like 12 years ago or 15 years ago. I feel like as people we grow. Like we are not the same people we were 12 years ago. And even if Toyin is saying she did something to her and blah blah blah, I don't feel like Caroline. I mean, as a person that every day you learn, you grow, I don't feel like she's still that same person. And I don't feel like she should bring that same energy to her. And I feel like Toyin is so obvious that Toyin affect these ladies so many things. Like, also, I'm like, Miriam, what is I'm doing my nails, I don't care. I'm in my head, I'm like, small yash they shake. Oh, like, wow. To use Caroline to trend. Like, where is this one? Like, honestly, I'm like, from where to where? Literally, that's what I said when she said, I don't care. I'm like, small yash they shake. Oh, because that day that they were late, Caroline was so apologetic about it. She was like, okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm never late. It's the crew. Like, she was so like apologetic about it. And I'm just that person that I believe that even if, like, the worst people, they change for better, they learn, they grow. Even if she was that person that Toyin is claiming 12 years ago, right? I feel like she has, on this show, what I have watched so far, I feel like she's grown. Like, she doesn't go for people except they come for her. And she's somebody that if you give her one, she will give you 100. And honestly, I'm like that too. If you give me one, I will give you 1 million. Like, I don't care what you're thinking. That's why I feel like, and Chioma, like Chioma's fight with Iyabo. Honestly, I feel like as much as three of them were friends, I'm not one to. I found fault with Chioma and I found fault with Caroline. I think I stated Caroline's fault earlier. Like her, like whenever she's fighting with somebody, she kind of exposes some certain things that she shouldn't. But now that I watched the reunion, I'm like, maybe they cut some part out because Chioma is, I don't know, like your friend does not have to be my friend because Caroline, it was Caroline, Chioma, and Iyabo before, but as the episode started, like, as we started watching, we saw that Chioma and Iyabo got closer than Caroline did. And just because you're friends with somebody does not mean that I have to be friends with the person. I have to have the same level of loyalty. And Chioma saying, and you did not apologize sincerely. I'm like, I don't think that was right. Like, even if she didn't apologize, you shouldn't have said it in front of like Iyabo and stuff. But yeah, I like the way Caroline stood up for herself. Like, I was like, yes. And oh my God, Caroline needs to teach us how to sit down, relax, insulting your enemies. Let it pepper them. Oh my God. I remember the day she was fighting, not even her shades fell off. Like that day that she, not her shade, like it did not shake. Like I need to learn that. Like, yeah.
All
So,
right, Annie. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you
Yeah, and I
so
have one
much.
last thing to say. Sorry. I like that Laura was more like sincere about her now realizing that Caroline actually didn't say much. Like Caroline came with an open heart, like, okay, I'm getting to know these ladies on a okay, let me just give them a benefit of a doubt level, but they all had their gist,
Mm,
they all had on
yeah.
held on to it. So
All
yeah.
right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you
You're
so much. Oh
welcome.
my God. I feel so sorry for Mariam right now. When you said that small yash they shake.
No, guys, no, you don't do that. Like
All right. Thank you so much, Annie. Let's move on to T. Hi, T. Hello, T. T, are you there? Okay, so if T is not ready, we're gonna move on to Tina. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Gloria. How are you?
I'm fine. You're welcome to the conversation.
Thanks for having me. I love your show. You're on point.
Thank you
Another
so much.
H Town in the house. I think
Sorry?
I'm from H Town, Houston. There's another
You're
Houstonian in the
welcome.
house. She spoke
You're
earlier on.
welcome.
Okay. I'm not going to bore you. I'll drive on to the point. I'm really sorry about Miriam because she's a PR. And when I started watching The Housewife of Lagos, I stumbled on your show when I was driving from out of state. I was trying to play music and I stumbled on your show and you were talking about the show. Then I came home and I started watching. Interesting enough, it's like these ladies, when they were casted to do Housewife of Lagos, went and looked at Housewife of Atlanta and they were like, okay, yeah, right. So we're going to do that. It's so disappointing on so many levels. As an African woman, I was hoping that they would portray, because we are seen as hostile. If you're a career woman, you're hostile. If you're an African woman, it's another problem. Do you understand? I was
Yeah.
hoping that the Housewife of Lagos would portray professional women, that have their shit together. They're beautiful, they're successful. The Oyibo people in the diaspora think that we eat with our hands, we live on trees. Kudos to them. They portrayed us well. The outfits, they have been awesome. Man, I'm like always taking screenshots. What's Chioma wearing? All of them. I don't care even about Toyin that I don't like. I loved her outfit. It was okay. It was another form of showing our tradition and showing that Africans are sophisticated and so on. Now, Miriam, you're a PR person and you sit in front of the world and say that the streets are sane, you know, and kudos to Caroline, because let me tell you what Caroline did. Caroline said something that Margaret Thatcher, that's my favorite quote, said, being powerful is like being a lady. And you have to tell people that you are, then you're not. She made all of them, even Choma, look like a damn fool because she sat there graciously and she talked back. Yes, if you're coming at me, trust me, girl, best believe, as we say in the South, I'm going to come at you back. Okay? So if you insult my mother, I will insult your whole family. Tony did not have any right to insult her like that. And this is, like I said, this is what they think of African women abroad. And they just sealed the deal for us. I was thinking the only two people that showed anything that was professional was Caroline and Choma when they were talking about doing some deals together. I'm sorry. Tony, yes, you're a designer. Duh. There are a lot of young, upcoming talents in Africa that I buy African outfits for my Oyibo friends. I'm in a white dominated profession. I buy African outfits for them. They love it. When they see my jackets from Lagos, they love it. I'm not even Nigerian. Do you understand? So for Miriam to sit there and say the streets are talking, you are a PR person. Shouldn't you be validating what you're saying to the world about another fellow woman?
Preach.
Do you understand? And then she's saying bitch, bitch, bitch. First of all, Caroline put her in a place. You're so ghetto. That is ghetto language. What is bitch? Who is bitch? My friends don't call me bitch. I'm a black woman from Africa. Do you understand? So she came across too hostile, and she really portrayed herself as someone who just money miswrote, as Nigerians say, Sha. Now money miswrote. Yeah, she's all that, but she didn't play her wealth and sophistication well. I loved Yabo. She's an older woman. I wish she would have intervened more, but she presented herself well. Choma tried, but at the end, man, she threw Caroline under the bus. She should have known better that they were ganging up on Caroline from the day the show started. I'm thinking that when what's her name heard that Caroline was coming to the show, she called Miriam and all her friends and said, okay, you guys should try and get an audition and come to the show and let us show this Caroline. But Caroline, man, I did not like her or really care about any of them, except Laura was annoying from the beginning. But Caroline really stood out at the end and she brought her A game. And she showed the world that this is what an educated black woman is like. And I'm disappointed in Choma because she could have done better. I was really counting on her. Thank you for the platform, and I really love your show.
Thank you so much, Tina. Tina came with guns blazing. Oh my god. But I really love what Tina said. And this thing is it's something that is really rampant. You see some reality TV shows that we have on here, and it's like most people, they just want to just copy. Why don't you just bring your own originality and maybe add some spice to it? We see a lot of that happening. And as someone commented, let me see who dropped that comment. I think it's OG Ohio, copycats, you copy and then you end up disgracing yourself. It's really crazy. But really, thank you so much, Tina. So let's have T. T, are you ready to speak now? T, if you're
Yeah,
ready to speak. Okay, are you there?
yeah, I am. Hello, everyone.
All right, you're welcome. You're welcome to the conversation.
Hi. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my Wi-Fi at home.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's hear you.
First of all, I want to thank you. You're doing a fantastic job. God, I've been following you for like 2, 3 years now, watching your videos, and it's been superb. So great work, sis.
Thank you so much. Thank
See,
you.
when I saw the whole Real Housewife of Lagos advert at first, I was like, when it first aired. No, it had not even aired then when the advert first came out. I'm like, would they be able to, will they be as good as the other Real Housewife franchises that I've been watching? Like the Beverly Hills, the New York and stuff, the Atlanta. And I'll say, for a Nigerian show, I think they did well. But I think they did well production-wise and stuff until this whole reunion. Uti is just aching my nerves right now because it's aching my nerves because I'm watching the reunion and before you even did the review, there were times I was watching the show and I was expecting to hear him say something or like, okay, ask a question, like a follow-up question before you even mention it. Like, when you're just expecting the host to like, okay, so feeding off the statement you just had, and he's just quiet. I'm like, Uti, why? Uti, why?
Like you didn't watch the show.
I think for me, the worst part was where Toyin and Caroline were going at it. And I almost forgot that Uti was in that venue. I was like, where's Uti? In my mind, because they didn't show him, they were just showing Caroline. And so in my mind, like, you see that he walked out and just left the two of them.
The guy could not handle.
He couldn't. I don't know. I know I'm not one to, okay, for me, I don't like to believe that age might be an issue. But I think age was an issue because these men have been stars way before he even got into the whole entertainment. So I feel he's treading with caution. He's just, yeah, that's what I think. I think it's just like, oh, I don't want to upset this. That's what I think. Then off to Tiannah and her whole sneaky behavior. Like, when I started the show, the only person among the ladies, the only person I was following was Chioma, and that's because I follow her whole hairline and her friend Kika and stuff. So when I saw that she was on the show, I'm like, oh yeah, Chioma. It's just that the way Chioma is just following my hand there, I almost unfollowed her. Like, it was. I have to say, no, we were following this lady way before the whole Real Housewives of Lagos and stuff. For me, I stand Caroline. I know who will say, oh, we don't like the whole standing culture. I know Caroline has her own. Like when they asked her, okay, do you have first-hand information about the whole pimping stuff? I was almost clutching my pearls saying, Caroline has put me in trouble. Caroline has put me in trouble. But I love the way she answered the question and her bounce back. I feel Caroline is quick on her feet, and that's what the other ladies do not have. And I really wish the ladies could, like the other franchises, they read each other. And they read each other without reading, I don't know if you understand what I mean, read. Like you read someone for you read someone like you're insulting them, but you're not directly insulting them. I feel that's something that the Real Housewives of Lagos they should learn because they don't have it. Because you see this whole
Caroline listens. She pays attention
before she talks. Tiannah is just showing her true color, like, and it's quite embarrassing. And when I see people support her and Laura, I'm like, is it that these people are watching the back of their television set? Because this is it's also very shocking for, I don't know, human beings. I wouldn't say Nigerian because there are some people elsewhere who do the same thing. Like you are seeing something, they are showing you this thing is black, it's black. Then you're not saying no, it's not black, it's ash. It's just crazy. I just wish the people, the fans of the show could just be truthful. And all the same, I'm happy with the amount of people who have actually applauded Caroline, because but applauding Caroline doesn't mean everything she does is fantastic. But you don't gang up on someone. And what I think personally is that Chioma, she's regretting her action, because there was this thing I noticed when Caroline when Caroline was talking, and I was like, oh, they're talking about if you want the street could talk, and it's left for the streets to talk. And it's left for you to believe in something like that. You could see there's this proud ex-friendship moment where Chioma just looked, and you could, I don't know if anybody grabbed that. She was like, that's my friend. It's not like she was clapping, but you could just tell, like, yes, she killed it. And you could tell, I feel Chioma right now, she's thinking, maybe I made the wrong choice, because I feel teaming up with Iyabo is digging her own grave, because when the castle with boss, she won't have anybody to defend her. And nobody then should now be saying Caroline for old friends' sake, because at the end of the day, none of those girls really care for Chioma. None of those other ladies really understand Chioma. Let's call it. There are people who think, oh, she's a spoiled girl. I think to some extent, Caroline understood Chioma, and Chioma did not even give her. I feel even if Caroline misbehaved, Chioma should have just let sleeping dogs lie.
True.
Do you understand? It's a different thing when somebody does something more than once, but this was just like the first straw, and that's what makes me think that, in the confessionals, Caroline said she said something about Chioma's boyfriend. I think that's the real issue. Personally, it's just that nobody is willing to listen to that because it doesn't sound interesting and juicy. But I think that's the real issue, because other than that, there's really no other reason.
Yeah. Thank you so much, T. Thank you so much, T. And really, thanks for bringing up that boyfriend conversation, because Chioma and Iyabo had an interview, and Chioma was asked about that, and she said she doesn't know what Caroline is talking about.
Can you imagine?
Honestly, this is the part where I really wished that we saw what happened exactly on that particular night. At least let's hear the details. Because now, even if they bring it on the reunion, we wouldn't know if it is true or if it's a lie, because we did not see it happen. But as you said, I think there's more to that Chioma and Caroline's fight. I don't think it's about the Yabo thingy or Caroline Vincent. I think there's more to it. But really, thank you so much, T. All right, let's move on to Latricia. Latricia, oh my God. The way I am so happy to see you right now. I don't know if you've been checking the comment section. There are a lot of people that have been looking out for you, and they've been like, where is Latricia? Where is Latricia? Latricia, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for joining. We missed you. We missed your gracious presence. You're welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Lori. I'm super fine. Thank you for the welcomes, and I'm here. And first, before I go into the Real Housewives of Lagos, I want to say congratulations to me for earning a cup of tea. I'm on a blue cup of tea for joining your the subscription. I don't even know what I was doing.
Oh, you have? Oh my God! Guys, she's talking about the membership, right? She's talking about the membership.
The membership, yes.
Oh my God! I saw that I have a +1 member, and I was wondering, like, okay, I'm going to check this later. You know what? You are warmly welcome. Guys, listen. Let me just quickly explain that, okay? So you can subscribe to any YouTube channel. I mean, it's free, whatever. But there's also something called channel membership. It's just your own little way or major way of supporting the channel, all right? And there are other channel membership perks. So it's available on my channel. So if you like, you're not like obliged to, but if you like and you want to support the channel membership is available. Okay, so that was what Trisha did, and she got an effect of the G-cup emoji. That's what it's about. So thank you so much, Trisha. I was wondering who the person was. Thank you so much for joining. So please continue.
Yes. I first want to applaud you for the last video that you did. Okay, as always, but then speaking of the latest one, I want to applaud you. I don't know how many times I watched it. So you were at your best. At your best. And firstly, I want to applaud the ladies of the Real Housewives. Those ladies, they showed us fashion. I like how they dress, all of them, despite of what, except for the lady in white. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, but for the rest of the ladies, Yeah, come I tell you, no, that I have respect for Nigerian ladies for their outfits. I have a lot of respect, except for I'm not looking down on Tiannah, but then I'm not sure what's happening with Tiannah, but for whatever it is, it's not in my game. So, and for the beautiful show that they gave us, but going to the what happened yesterday, I also want to applaud Caroline for her behavior. The first thing that she did, from my view, by her coming late, I think it was the first best thing of breaking the plan or whatever that they had that we don't know that we think they had by coming late, because firstly, I think maybe somewhere in their game they had a plan that when they at the backstage for the preparations and all that, they were going to make her feel absent. They were going to make her feel like an outcast. So it was good that she came when they were already seated, because then they were going to dislocate her. It's only human to be emotional and all that. By the time she goes in there, she would have been somebody else. So it's good that she did whatever that she did wherever and came there late, not for attention purposes, but she protected herself so that she can be able to portray that beautiful image that she gave us. Oh, I truly appreciate the image that she gave. She was so cool, and she the way she was giving her reasons, the answers, she didn't want to be right. That is the first thing. And in a show like that, you don't want to be always right. She didn't want to be right. I liked it when she humbly greeted the ladies. They didn't greet her back. Even on top of that, she apologized to Mariam and said, okay, if that is how you got it, I'm sorry, but then that's not what I meant. And it happens that I will say something, but only to find that it hurts you, but I meant well, you see? So she said, I'm sorry, and I appreciated that. Although I got disappointed, because when they were discussing the issue of episode 2, she was not yet there. And Laura said, I realized that Caroline actually did not say anything, although it's the one that I blamed. I felt that the host was supposed to take it back to that, because as much as he was asking Caroline about things that she said, negative, positive, he could have done the same thing, so that we can hear if Laura is going to apologize or not. You see, as much as he asked Caroline to say, what do you have to say about Laura and the thing of the hotel and the governor and what. So, and I liked her response. She gave a good response, not in favor of herself or what, but in favor of the situation and protecting everyone. I liked her closing comments when she said, you know what, I want to give you an advice to Laura, that watch the people you do things with, because I got it from someone else. That was very good, and it was proper, because then she can't mention other people's names. It's on a national TV. Then Mariam disappoints me and starts saying the streets are talking. Oh, but that was $1 million response that she gave. That it's not in my control. What people say, what you want to hear, what you they have a right to their opinion. You have a right to your own opinion. So I can't control it, but this is me. Caroline is saying this, and that's it. I liked what she said. And I think Chioma, in her heart, she must have been clapping hands for her, understanding, knowing what the work that she was doing. She understood where that woman is standing. That is reality. That was real. And she was not defending, but then giving the truth of the matter, giving the truth, her truth, whether you believe it or you don't believe it. That is all. And lastly, I was disappointed with the lady in white. Beautiful white things that he was wearing, but then for her to be talking insults like that. Lady in white. Lady in white didn't do for me. Yes, arguments is given. We expect arguments, but for her to say all those insults that she was saying to a fellow woman. Isn't she 45 years old, Tiannah? They said she's having a 45-year-old party, and Caroline is 42. Am I correct?
Caroline came out this week. You know, she celebrated her birthday. Her birthday was on Sunday. Chioma's birthday was on Saturday. Caroline's birthday was on Sunday. So there was still a controversy. Sorry for cutting you, but I had to drop that in because you mentioned it. So Caroline dropped a picture of her mother, herself, and her daughter. And Caroline's mother looks so young. And she said her mother is in her 50s. She is 35 now. And then that's her daughter. I can't remember the age of the daughter. So according to her, she married really early. She got into
the Nigerian movie industry really early. And that automatically means that the mother had her when she was young. And I know of someone that the mother had her when she was 15. So if you see this girl and the mother, you would think they are siblings. They look like they are age mates because the girl is married now and the mother is divorced. So when you see both of them, sometimes you will even think the girl is older than the mother. So there are cases like that. So she had to put out a disclaimer that this is because people are saying that Caroline is 42, and I'm thinking, well, if you say that, oh, it's on Google, Google is man-made, man-created. I can go on Google and I can put information on Wikipedia, and people will read it and take it as fact. So that's that. Please continue.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I also got it on Google, and I know Google can be misleading sometimes. Because she doesn't really look that 46 to me, to my eyes. And for an older lady like Tiannah to be saying all those insults that she was saying on national TV, and you could tell that this woman is saying it with passion. And Caroline keeps saying, but I did not interrupt you when you were talking. And that is why also that guy, the host, disappointed me. He was supposed to say, but Caroline was listening to you. And then you spoke. When you finish, when she wants to respond, can you give her a chance? And then I will also award you a chance again to respond on whatever that she is saying. I like to interrupt her, but you could tell that interruption, she didn't want Caroline to give all the facts, because they could tell that she is factual, she's giving facts, and her language, the things are pure that she say. So I think the purpose was to anger her so that she can go out of line. She was trying to throw her out of line so that she doesn't give all those facts that will work against her. Let me put it that way. So the lady in white really disappointed me. As for the insult, if what I was reading there is what she was saying, because she was saying it in a Nigerian language that I don't understand. If what I read there is what she was saying, no, ladies, that is not how it should be. Yes, we can quarrel, we can argue, but then insults like that, that is
the thing. Somebody came and interpreted what she said. What she was saying was actually worse.
You don't say that. Then I'm disappointed. No, then I'm disappointed. So they made it light. It's good that they made it light. We were not going to sleep. That was a nightmare. Because I kept watching it and saying, did I read right? Maybe I read wrong. I went back and I checked it and I thought, you don't do that to a fellow woman. You just don't. But I also want to applaud Chioma. Chioma, I think it was before Caroline came. There was a time where she was talking about the fight, Laura, and people saying that she threw Caroline under the bus because actually, I liked the way she spoke. She did not talk like someone who is now having a beef with Caroline. She spoke in a very positive way. And that is the spirit that we expected. Yes, we agree to disagree. We may not be in good terms anymore, but it doesn't change the fact that there were good pages at the back. That's my view. There were good pages, nice pages, so we don't have to tear them off. They are part of the history. As much as there are bad pages, we don't tear them off because they are also part of the story. For the story to be complete, we have to also touch base on that. So I really appreciated the show. Thank you for now, Glory.
Thank you so much, Latricia. Please stick around. If you have more to say, just stick around and we'll add you again. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to Emanuela. Okay. Emanuela, first of all, I want to thank you so much for your patience. You've been around for a while. Thank you so much for waiting this out. Please, let's hear your opinion.
Thank you so much, Gloria. So
You're
even if it's
welcome.
gonna take me 10 hours to wait for your show, definitely I'll wait. You know that. You know you're my favorite. So I'm always going
Thank
to
you so
stay.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Yesterday was hot. You know what? Caroline, she's a whole nation. That lady, she's a whole nation. Like I give it to her any day. I still don't get it how she's able to put herself together like that. She dish it out, and you look at her, you would never think that such thing came out of her. She is who she is. You can't take her out of her throne. She attends to you, go back to her thing, and sit down like nothing has happened. How is she able to do that? You know, I listened yesterday when what was her name again? Tiannah. Let me not jump. Let me start from. Let me do step by step. Like I love the way Caroline came in. It was a shot on them. these ladies, some of them didn't believe she was going to come. And when she came in like a queen that she is. Do you know what I saw? I looked at Chioma. Chioma felt I wish she was the one that walked in that way. And all of them actually jealous that moment. They all wished they were the ones that was giving that space to. And I love the fact that Uti came back and said, this lady greeted them, but they didn't answer. And Uti came back and said, there's no hello from you guys. She just greeted. And they just gave this fake smile. Anyway, it was a fake smile for me. And Caroline went back. She sat down like the queen that she is. I think Caroline is the drama. Caroline is the drama. And she sat down like nothing has happened. And all of them were just there. Did you look at their faces? Did you see what was written all over them? They were cold. They never expected that. You know when you say, I never expected it. That was what happened yesterday. And Caroline came with her A game. That girl is, I've always known that she's a strong woman. People don't know her story. They don't know where she's coming from. And when Toyin was like, she's how many years? She's old. She's this. She doesn't even know Caroline. If she said she got married at 23, she actually did. I was watching Caroline when she was also a small girl, when she was acting. And I was young then. Even my colleague in the office confirmed it yesterday that she went to the same school with Caroline, that Caroline is actually 35. And I knew when Caroline was staying in Ikeja, they lived in Ikeja with the mom. When the mom had issue, when she went out, I don't want to say a lot, she took charge of the home. She became strong. That made her strong. And when she got married to Danjuma, it was on the screen that Danjuma saw her and said he wanted this girl. She was a small girl and put money that whoever can give her this girl, he wants to marry her. Then I think 100, I can't remember the amount he mentioned. That's how he got to know. Caroline was very small. And he got married to her. Caroline was a small girl then. So Caroline became strong because of what happened then and all of that. She took charge of the family and all of that. And married to such person who she was married to doesn't come with it doesn't just come like that. You need to be at your game. You need to be a strong woman. So if you see her like that,
there's also the difference in religious beliefs as well.
Yeah, but if you see Caroline doing what she's doing, I'm not surprised. She has been through a lot. She has been there. She knows, and she knows her onion. So I really love her, and I appreciate what she did. When Mariam was talking, when she now walked in, Mariam didn't expect. Wait, now Mariam came out. Look at this. I mean, somebody said something. She's still ghetto, whether she has money. Money doesn't change who you are. Let's forget all these things that she's doing and all of that. She's not a match. She's not a match for Caroline. She's not just a match. Why is she making people to push her and all of that? People liked her, yes, when she did well and all of that. Now she wants to spoil what she has done already. She's not doing her hands okay, as if, I don't understand what she's there to do. She shouldn't even try Caroline because Caroline will put her. I like the fact that when she said something, Caroline apologized. She apologized and said, I'm sorry if you felt this way, but that was not what I meant and all of that. That was it. And Toyin came out. First, I appreciate the way they dressed. I really love them. I love the way all of them were dressed. But Toyin, I don't know, whoever gave her that inspiration or whatever to go and dress that way, that person misled her. And she came talking about the boss lady, I'm the king of fashion. Which fashion? We can see you now. We can see. I even saw one of her interviews that some people used to think what I wear, they judge me by what I wear and all of that. If we don't see what you wear, it's what you wear you serve now. I beg, madam, go rest. You don't join. I beg. I don't even understand. So look at what she wore yesterday. Look at every other person. And she has the audacity to open her mouth and be saying nonsense on the national TV and be talking about her private this and has seen this. Who doesn't know Toyin? Is it what they call these people that go to Dubai? Is it Potter? What they call them that used to go to Yibo and eat all those nonsense that they are getting their money from? Has she forgotten her story? All the people she's been, all the politicians, is it me that has been following them? She has now to be talking about Caroline, and Caroline is this. Some people should, I mean, how can a kettle be calling pot black? And it's even, I don't even think it is nice for a woman to also call another woman a prostitute and you're this thing. Caroline is not older than her. Maybe she doesn't know Caroline. She should go and find out. People that she grew up with, they will tell you about her. That's her age. So people just, there are people that situation makes them to be matured. There are situations that you get into, you become what you are not even, you become strong on your own. That's when you knew that you are strong. So Caroline is that kind of a person. She's been into the fire. So she's strong and she looks that way because I don't know why she will be saying Caroline is old, is this, is that. I love what Caroline told her. I said, thank God you are where you are. That was a word. That was a word for her. She didn't know. So yes, I'm grateful. She thought that means that girl is not smart. She doesn't even have sense. She doesn't have brain. I didn't even know she was a dropout. Caroline said, thank God you are where you are. With all we heard about Tiannah, Empire, and all of that, is that the kind of person she's supposed to be married to? The person is even married to somebody's husband. That's somebody's husband.
Emanuela, sorry, thank
yeah.
you so much. Oh my God. I mean, the tea you are spilling right now is burning my ears. Hey God, I'm trying not to shout. So please, if you can still stick around, we'll add you, all right? Let me allow other people on here to speak as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also, thanks for your patience. You're really a patient person. Thank you so much. All right, you stick around, okay? If you still want to say more, we'll definitely add you back, okay? All right, so let me quickly move on to Tolu. Tolu, are you around to speak?
Hi, Glory.
Hi, thank you so much for your patience, Tolu. You're welcome.
Yes, I'm so happy. I've been trying my best almost like every weekend to join, and something always just happens. But thank God for today. Okay, so I think I will start from the list for me. And unfortunately for me, the list of like the what disappointed me the most for yesterday's reunion was the production and the host. So I think that the host is coming from the production because I know that sometimes if you get a job, the extent to which you can carry it out depends on whoever calls you in for the job.
So please,
So
if
for
you can
me,
stick
Uti is someone
around,
that
we'll
I've
add
seen
you, all
shade
right?
people even online.
Let me allow other people on here to speak. Sorry
Sorry, can
about
you hear
that.
me?
Yes,
Okay.
please continue.
So, which is someone I've seen that, for me, I know he might not be able to, I don't want to compare, but we all know the truth. He might not be able to do as much as Ebuka would do. But in the very least, I thought that, oh, he's going to bring in the fire, like the brimstone, everything's going to come down. And the way they showed the thriller and when he was greeting the ladies and all of that, so I'm like, he's going to ask the questions that I'm waiting to hear. But I didn't hear those questions. Before episode 12 ended, Caroline was helping Laura count the number of times she was going to the toilet. And Chioma then commented in her confessional that, is she pregnant? Or was all these James Bond movements? I was expecting that he would say something because everybody that's been watching this show is waiting to clarify whether Laura is really I don't want to say she's deranged or something, but whether she just wants to move with the amount of toxicity that she's working with, the amount of negativity that she brings every episode, or maybe let's give her a break and say maybe from episode so and so she was already pregnant. But the
Yeah.
reason why I would not even believe that if they give me that, even though I saw a baby bump later on in episode 12, that I won't believe that is that there were some episodes that she drank. Except the production that was tell us that maybe episode 1 was not the actual first episode they filmed. She didn't drink in episode 1, but at Miriam's dinner, she drank and she told us that she's tipsy from mimosa.
Yeah.
So, did she drink with her full chest after knowing that she's pregnant?
Your
I
hair is
don't want to
giggling.
say too much, but she drank. And
You have
then
said it all.
there was one time at Toyin Tiannah Fortified in Dubai, she drank again. And I'm wondering, is it that there's an amount of alcohol that doctor told her to drink that she's allowed to take? And lastly, about the whole pregnancy saga, because I just felt like I was angry, I was really disappointed, even with people that were following Real Housewives of Lagos on Twitter when they all started taking her side that, oh, okay, she's pregnant. I can understand. Episode 1, she looked fine and she didn't drink. She wasn't tipsy and I don't think she was pregnant at that time. But she still brought negativity. She complained about the food because it was linked to Chioma, because Chioma said, you are not my friend. That's one. Then let me say how I think that the production did not, like, they controlled Uti and Uti let them control him. What he failed to realize is after the production, people will keep saying Uti did this, Uti did that. Nobody will say live sports or this production did this. It's the host that they would face. So and then I was disappointed because I was waiting that there are some clips that the production edited out that they can bring back in. I'm a small YouTuber myself, so I know that they are definitely behind the scenes every time. There's always a behind the scenes stuff. So at least 1 or 2 would have been good, or at least even at the times or at the points where people were not owning what they have said with their full chest, then show us a clip. Because from BB Nigeria reunion, there are definitely clips. So I was wondering then what Caroline said before in one of our podcasts came to my mind, where she said, oh, they said they couldn't afford her. She doesn't know if it's for other people like that they will appreciate her with something. Then I thought that, okay, maybe these guys are starting small. They are not ready to offend these ladies and they don't want like every other thing to be out. But they need to clear the air before season 2. Or they should start clearing the air from the first episode in season 2. Because I feel like the ladies did not adhere to production rules and they just let it go like that. Why? Then let me start with Mariam. Mariam is a wannabe. She said she wants to be in Real Housewives of Atlanta or something like that. So I felt like her first 2 episodes when she joined Real Housewives of Lagos was as if she was still auditioning for Real Housewives of Atlanta. That was where the old beach, shaking your ass, drinking, never ever ever. Because see, we are Nigerian women. You don't bring out your secrets on the first day. You don't bring out everything about you on the first day. Nobody ever does that. So whether Caroline greeted her with half shake, full shake, if Caroline had even hugged her or smiled at her, she should have even been suspecting that something is wrong. Because that's where we are here. I don't know about that place, but here in Lagos, you meet somebody newly and then you tell the person to tell you how many people she has slept with. That's not happening. And then I think that she's smart enough because of the line of business that they said she's into and her career. I expect that since she's PR, she should be smart enough to know that you don't fight other people's battle on national TV. That people from outside Nigeria are watching. All these other people are social media influencers, actresses, all these stuff. They can easily maneuver and be flexible about this. Since you have a career, I don't mean that. Okay, let's not sound like I mean that other people don't have careers, but I mean like ours is a very strong one in this line of industry. So she can lose deals because of some things that she said and that she did. So I felt like she should have understood that this show will end and life will continue. Then for Iyabo, I feel like Iyabo tried her best. I really commend that for something that people didn't notice. Out of all of Tiannah's friends or people that have known Tiannah before the show, Iyabo was one of the people that did not act out on the things that Tiannah would have told her. And I know that Tiannah is closer to Iyabo than she's closer to Laura. So Tiannah definitely told her whatever storyline or punchline she's throwing around about Caroline, she definitely told Iyabo too. Iyabo held on to it. She tried to be careful with it, but she still made friends with Caroline. So there's something that we should like still up. That's something we should applaud her for. Secondly, I think that she should have held on, but it's not as easy as we are all saying it. It's because we are the ones watching it. If we were here, but does that mean that we will not say anything? And I stand on my ground that there's definitely something Caroline said. I know that Iyabo herself is not innocent, so definitely she said something to trigger Caroline. But there's something that Caroline would have said that when Caroline wants to apologize, she will kneel down. Caroline is a queen. For her to kneel down for Iyabo, it's not because they are calling her Auntie Iyabo. She definitely struck a chord. She definitely struck a chord. And whatever words were thrown that night, it was so important that Laura did not enter that room and that the production team did not enter. So it was so important that nobody that could jeopardize whatever happens in that room stays in that room. That doesn't happen on a normal production set, that whatever happens in this room stays in this room. It has to be something definitely and I know Caroline has the dagger that is going to kill everybody. Caroline has it. She just keeps it. She's ready to use it. So I know that she definitely said something. But I believe that Iyabo is somebody that she should have just held on and not shown that physical side, because they were already
Thank
scared of
you.
her that Iyabo has a crazy side to her. So let me just try and hurry up. Then Laura,
Thank
her
you.
Laura disappointed me. She did not own things with her full chest. It's reunion. You have already started with the drama. You have been capitalized as the drama. Then end with it. Don't come and now start denying. Then you're telling us, oh, what Chioma said to you did not mean anything. Eh? And you allowed us to waste our time for like 5, 6 episodes. And you are always bashing Chioma every time. And it didn't mean anything to you. Are you kidding me? It didn't mean anything to you, really? No, I don't want to believe that.
No,
Then the fact
thank
that she
you.
and Tony were now hiding as if they did not talk about people behind their back, that was just. And I think that for her own sake, she should have killed the conversation when Uti brought that pimping stuff up back. Because the truth is, for that allegation to be made, all the places that she described where it happened or where it could have happened, they were not good places. Hotel, politician. The story is just it's too good to be true. So she should have just killed it. If she, for me, I felt like she was smart enough. She should have killed it. Just the way Chioma killed the old lateness thing. She killed it in a very polite manner. And the truth is, these women have watched these 12 episodes. If it was one of them, I will rewatch all the episode again. Listen to everything I have said so that when I'm coming, I know how to respond in a very smart manner, because it's going to continue. Then for me, Chioma, I think Chioma was sensitive enough to answer everybody. I like the fact that she was not malicious when they asked her things about Caroline, and she was very sure that Caroline was coming. She she could bet her life on it that she's coming. She's definitely. I know. I'm very sure she's coming. So, and I hope that maybe in the next episode, the part 2 of the reunion, they would say something about Caroline and Chioma's fight. But it's definitely more than what we saw, like you said. Is definitely more than what we saw. And then there was one time that Caroline was saying in her confessional that you are a big girl, you are classy, you are from a wealthy home. Why do you need someone like Tiannah to set you up with a man? That don't you already see that that's a negative thing, or that's not up to your standard? Yes, sure. Say I don't want you to settle for less, something like that. And I think she's a bit right, because definitely she and Tiannah has history, which Chioma already knows about. Chioma confirmed that she knows about some of the things that all the things that she knows about Toyin was told to her by Caroline, but she was smart enough not to bring it to the show because that's not what the show is about. So I think
All
that
right,
for
so you.
me, at that
Yeah.
point, at that point where she mentioned the old boyfriend thing, I think maybe the dynamic there was Caroline was telling Chioma that there's no amount of guy that Tiannah wants to bring for you that will be up to your standard. And then look at her too. You don't want to drag yourself inside this kind of mess. Something like that. Maybe, maybe not. Then for Caroline, I like that
So
everybody is
let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. You have a whole lot to say, and honestly, if we continue with just you, no other person will speak. So please do us a favor, okay? Hang around, please, so that I can allow
okay.
other
Thank
people
you.
to rise. Because you've been raising a lot of very very valid points. There are a lot of things you've been raising that are very valid. I would love to hear more from you. So please just stick around, all right? Let me just allow others to speak, okay?
Okay, no
All
problem.
right. Thank you so much to you.
Okay, let's quickly move on to Priscilla.
Hello, Priscilla.
Hello.
Thank you so much for your patience. You're welcome to the conversation.
Oh, thank you so much for welcoming
Yeah.
me. I think this is the first time I'm joining a program like this to share my experience.
Woo!
I'm
You're
always like really
welcome.
quiet in the
You're
background, but
welcome.
thank you. I just want to share a little bit. I'm from Ghana and I've been like watching the show so much and I've been following. And what I hate is hypocrisy. And I really like you because you always say that you use what we see because we don't know what they don't show us. And that's a very fair
Yeah.
point because everybody don't know what they do. We just see and we judge on what we see. And I feel like people are just blind because they are just saying things that are not accurate. Like you weren't there. So how are you going to judge on something that you are not there? You
True.
see it, and that's the only thing that you can judge on. And I just want to talk about hypocrisy because I've just seen so much on the show. Like a lot of people are hypocrites. Let me talk about the apology incident from Marian. Marian stated on the show that um, she didn't like the fact that
Chioma, she wants to be sincere. Chioma's apology did not seem real when she came to the house, but Caroline's own seemed real. And everybody gave Chioma a slack, like, okay, fine, your apology is not real, okay, we understand. But when Caroline apologized to Iyabo and Chioma felt like that was not sincere, it was like a big deal. Like, come on, when it was your time, somebody gave you like a pass, but why are you taking it like a big deal when somebody also apologizes and you said that it's not real, like it's not true? Like, this is like clear hypocrisy. If you are judging like by this yardstick, like judge according to, is it because it's Caroline? And I think that that's why people are like irritated and people are following Caroline, because people feel like she's being judged bad. Like everybody is against her because of Toyin. And I feel like it's Toyin that has spoiled everybody's mind. And it's like a Ghanaian thing. I'll say that it's an African thing, that when somebody tells you something about someone, you look at them to I don't know if it's like in Nigeria too, but it's in Ghana that if somebody tells you about someone, you become skeptical a little bit about the person. And I feel like that's what is happening. And because of what Toyin told these cast members, everybody is having like an issue with Caroline. And I don't really know what Caroline has done that deserves, such backlash or something like that. So we just have to be fair. We just have to judge the show by, what we see. And I like the fact that she came and she stood up for herself. And that's good, because if nobody will stand up for you, you have the right to stand up for yourself. So that's a little bit I have to say. I just feel like people are being hypocrites, and we have to judge the show by what we see. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. Thanks for keeping it really short and simple and straight to the point. And I totally agree with you. That has always been one thing that I say on this channel, and I will not stop saying. With shows like this, you can only base your judgment on what you see on the show. You cannot, except you have like a one-on-one relationship with the cast members. If you don't, trust me, you only be shooting yourself in the leg if you want to start assuming and speculating. It's not really healthy for you as well. It takes away the pleasure of the entertainment from you as well. All right. And another thing I've noticed is everybody is now coming on the live with just their audios. Guys, it's not a thing, it's not the standard, okay? If you want to show your video, please go ahead. I only advise that people use only their audio if their network connection is not that great. But if your network connection is great and you want to go ahead and use your audio, you want us to see your face, please, by all means, go ahead and do so, okay? All right, so let's move on to Bumi Faj. Bumi Faj, I saw you with your video on before. Now it's off. I'm happy I can see your face. Finally, I can see another face on this conversation. You're welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Perfectly, perfectly.
I'm not gonna say much. I'm just going
Okay.
to go. I think they have actually brought us fantastic entertainment.
Yes,
That's
I
one thing.
agree.
That's one thing I can say.
Yes.
I've never really watched any of the Housewives. I mean, all the American ones and all of that. This is actually my first ever one, and I was thoroughly entertained by my Nigerian women. Wow. I would
Yes.
say, I would say, I mean, they came fully prepared for it, and they sort of, I mean, let's not look at the bad side of it as well. I just thought maybe in terms of entertainment, they they did well. They did well. I mean, they kind of like had all their dirty linen in public, which 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 was kind of like wow. But I was thoroughly entertained. I mean, there were cringy moments. There were moments that you were like, what, what? But I would say I give it to them. Oh, they came and they delivered, and hopefully this doesn't have like that bad turn for their own personal lives and career, and
hopefully this is something that can be swept under the carpet eventually. But I would say that they did justice to the show. I can't wait for the next
Yeah,
next
I
one.
agree with you.
In
I
terms
agree
of
with you.
the ladies, anyway, for me, the person I would say I'm currently rooting for would be Iyabo Ojo. I mean, I she completely kind of like, I don't know, I just had this really, the impression I had about Iyabo Ojo was completely opposite of what I saw on the show, and I'm so impressed by her, to be honest with you, in terms of actually the fact that Chioma began to look up to her. That sort of, I mean, she's a lady that she would enjoy herself, but also she knew when to kind of like respect herself as well, and that sort of she gained a fan with me. I would say. Uh, she
Yeah,
gained a
I
fan.
totally get you.
She gained the fan, and the ladies' outfit. I would say the outfits were exceptional. Even a lot of people are like against Tiannah's outfit. She represented something. You can only understand it if you're from the Yoruba side of Nigeria. The
Yeah.
outfit she came out with, it's symbolic to kind of people that are into the traditionalist. That was the outfit she turned up with. I don't necessarily think it had a fashion to it, but I
Bumi,
think there was a symbol.
now,
Yeah.
now that you mentioned it, oh my God, thank God I remembered. So I was on that Showmax space yesterday, discussing the show. So someone made a very lengthy statement about Toyin's outfit. So if you recall, when she and Caroline were having that altercation going at each other,
Yeah.
I played it in the video I played. That video is really lengthy. I don't want to play it right now. It's going to take our time. When she wanted to insult Caroline, when she said Koni Jafue, for those of you that are not, please, Bumi, can you interpret what that means, please? What does Koni
That's
Jafue
like
mean?
is a curse. Like you're placing a curse on someone's. It could be a future or destiny. You're kind of placing a curse that misfortune or goodness would be apart away from you. That is a
Okay.
curse. Yeah.
All right. So when she said that, I don't know how many of you noticed from that scene.
She puts that
The,
thing.
the, the thing she held, she kept on Koni
Yeah.
Jafue. Oh my God, I'm using my
Yeah.
brush. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. She was like Koni Jafue, Koni Jafue. And when she wanted to continue with the ranting, she would use her right hand. But when she's cursing, she would
Yeah.
be like Koni Jafue. So why I'm bringing this up is because obviously you're Yoruba and you have better understanding. So the person that was speaking, the person was speaking with so much authority that the person is also from Yoruba, and like that person said that Toyin's
Mm,
family, they have a history or a tradition of being traditionalist. Toyin's father is a traditionalist, this and that, blah blah blah. I don't know. It's what the person said. So this woman, actually a
mm,
female, she was going on and on about that the Yoruba cultural implication of what Queen was doing was that she was actually cursing Iyabo by, pointing that thing she held. That thing is like is
mm,
it a talisman she called it? It's like jazz or something. That
mm.
it's a real
Yeah.
deal. That she was worried
Yeah.
that the producers or whether the producers did not do anything about it.
To
So as a
stop
Yoruba
it.
person, yeah, what do you think about that? Is there a cause for concern? What do you
Um.
think? Do you think it's just
I. I
costume?
mm. From what Tony said, Tony Tiana, she said that she was going to be dressed and she was going to represent her grandmother's side, which is from Ekiti. And I think our grandmother's side, they're kind of like one of the kingmakers or something like that. Um,
Mm,
I personally don't know in terms of if she is really rooted in the traditionalist side of things. But I think if that lady that said that comment that you read up, actually, I'm not too I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, so I don't I don't know, but I watch these films, and these films throw more light into things like that. But what I would say is, if she is from the family, the sort of family she said she's from, then yeah, oh god, we have to be kind of, yeah, the producer, they should have kind of like done something about that. Hope
Okay.
I'm just hoping that all those curses and things were just word of mouth and nothing
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Bumi,
nothing
because
comes out of it. Yeah.
yeah, because obviously I am not Yoruba. I am from Akwa Ibom, and I could understand some of the things that Caroline was saying in my dialect, and I knew that she wasn't really cursing Toyin, so I wasn't really concerned. I wasn't really bothered. It
Oh,
was
so
just normal.
Caroline's Calabar.
Yeah, Calabar or Akwa Ibom, but I could understand the video she was speaking.
I thought she
Yeah,
had
I could understand.
TV outfits. I actually thought that outfit was TV.
Yeah. So Mariam was actually wearing the effeta.
Yeah,
They
the
call
Calabar. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
I think someone was representing the Fulani people. So they were not
Fulani, yeah, Hausa.
necessarily representing their own direct tribe,
Oh, I see,
take
I
for
see,
Toyin.
I see,
Yeah, Iyabo
I
was
see,
wearing a do.
I see.
So yeah. So for me, I felt like what the ladies were wearing was costume. So I did not think there was any cause for concern. It was because that lady pointed it out that I now started thinking about it that, oh, okay, I am not Yoruba. So if a Yoruba person is saying that there should be a cause for concern, then I don't know what to think. Yeah.
Yeah,
But thank
the
you so much.
producers should. Yeah, thank you.
Hmm.
Thank
All
you.
right.
It was a pleasure.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Bumi. Okay.
All right,
All right. Let's
bye.
move on to Free. Is Free there?
Hi, Glory.
Hi, Free. You're welcome to the conversation.
How you doing? Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
I just finished the reunion episode. I think not too long ago, about an hour ago, because I knew if I had watched it yesterday, coming on the live now, I won't remember some of the things that I had to say. First of all, they all looked so gorgeous. Like they all look so beautiful, especially Iyabo and Caroline. Both of them, they did it for me. Chioma, I've not really seen her outfits like that, so I can't really say. For Tiannah, I mean, she's Tiannah, she'll do her own style, but I wasn't really feeling it. But I think that was very creative of her to just stand out and not, wear gown and try to do what everybody else did. So I give her accolades for that. But the dressing is not my own cup of tea, if I can say that. For Miriam, I don't understand why Miriam keeps fighting somebody that is not fighting her. That's Caroline. Like, she has been trying so hard. I think she needs to rewatch that handshake saga. The one she was saying, oh, she shaked me at the tip of my finger, something. She needs to rewatch it again and see that she gave you a proper handshake, because she has been trying to push the narrative. And when Uti asked, I heard when Uti asked, I was like, oh, is it because of the entrance, how she acted and all of that? She was like, yeah, she didn't mention the handshake anymore. What she said instead, she said Caroline was not warm to her, just like the other ladies were warm to her. So it might also be possible that she has seen that episode and she has seen that, oh, this girl really gave me a full handshake, and now she does not know where to hold on to anymore. She's now diverting it and saying, oh, she did not warm up to me the way the other ladies did. But personally, I feel like Tony has told her certain things. Just the way Laura confirmed that Toyin told her things, I'm sure that Toyin told Miriam things as well. Of course, they're not going to record it. Of course not. But she just told her, maybe she gave her the details of what happened between them 12 years ago. And what's her name? Miriam, being a lawyer friend, she wants to come and, oh, let me make enemies with you because my friend is not cool with you. But it's childish. Like, you're a grown woman. You don't need to be best friends with her, but just be cordial and respect yourselves. That's why I really can't understand people like Laura when they always say, they defend their actions with, I'm a very loyal friend, I'm a very loyal sister, automatically telling you that anybody that is my enemy should be your enemy. And no, why should I do that? Do you get? You're not even my family. Even if it's my family, say, if I'm okay, there's somebody. There've been times when my family don't like a friend of mine or something. I don't put them in their faces. We just respect each other. Everybody's cordial about it. We don't have to coexist and all of that. But instead, she came in blazing guns, attacking Caroline at every little opportunity. And at this point, she's beginning to sound ridiculous. She needs to just shut it. I can't wait to see what gift it was that she gave to what's her name? Carol. But I know that it will be something senseless. I know it to be something senseless, and it doesn't make any sense that she's just trying to spite her. And then as for Laura saying, oh, she wasn't irritated when Chioma said they're just clients, she's just a client rather not friends. That's a big lie. That is what made her had issues with Chioma from the get-go. That word stuck with her like it be like needle, it pierce her heart. Like those why people started saying that Choma was living rent free in her head because at any time, oh Choma this, oh Choma that, oh Choma is dressing, thinking I'm seeing her, oh Choma is, and now you're coming on the reunion saying no, and you're not upset, you didn't feel any kind of way. That's a bloody lie. I just feel like they obviously want to make Caroline look like the crazy person. I might be wrong, but they want to like, oh, all of us we are cool. Yes, we had small issues, but we moved past it. But Caroline is the witch, and trust me, it is not working. I like the fact that Caroline is standing up for herself. I love that fact so much. And whenever someone is trying to explain something and you're talking on top of their own voice, it's obvious you don't want them to reveal certain things. Do you get? You don't want them to reveal certain things. If not, why can't you keep quiet and let her talk? When you were talking, she didn't say a word, But when she started talking, started interjecting, trying to throw her off, like, you're trying to distract her so she will not say certain things. That was what Toyin was clearly doing. Even if she'll say no, she was trying to correct every lie. Immediately, she's dropping it. But you're not supposed to do that. When you were talking, there were things you said that she considered as lies, but she didn't interject you. So why are you doing that to her? And then she's the one that brought up this beef for Caroline from the first episode. I believe that if Toyin had not started talking about Caroline's marriage and all of that, I don't think Caroline will ever bring up what happened between them 12 years ago. I will keep standing my ground that Caroline was very warm to Laura. She was nice to Toyin. She was cordial with all of them. Nobody knew they had issues until Toyin started bringing it up, and then it just blew out of proportion. Then they now talked about what happened between them. But I believe if Toyin did not do that, Caroline would have been cool with them. Even Laura that is saying she hates Caroline, this one, that one, that one. Caroline is the one that is supposed to be angry with you. She's the one that's supposed to be angry with you because your sister has wrote shit about her on her blog, rather. She wrote several nasty things according to Caroline. But when you came to the show, she was still cordial with you. But no, you were pushing agenda, like you wanted to fight her and all of that. And it didn't make any sense to me. And for Caroline, I don't like the fact that she's always bringing up other people when she's having a fight with somebody, like the way she's having a fight with Toyin. She brought up Nengi. She brought up one other lady name again. I can't remember, but another celebrity. And I'm like, you don't even need to bring up all these people. Like, why are you giving them stray bullets? Just tell her, make your points that you want to make. You don't need to be dragging people that knows nothing about it because it will make people to start digging and they'll want to know and all those things. So for Caroline, I don't think she doing that is necessary. But I actually really like the fact that she can stand up for herself. And for Chioma, I feel like Chioma, in a way, she's remorseful like that. She and Caroline fell out. I might be wrong, but when they played that clip at the Boho event, when Chioma walked in, you see the way that this girl was hyping her Caroline in her confessionals, my baby, my queen. And I could read Choma's expression. You could see that she still felt some kind of way like, wow, so this girl really cherished me, you know? She really cherished me. But who knows? I don't know if they're ever going to make up or not. Like you said in the podcast, she said it's a possibility, but Yabo said no, it's never going to happen. So that's that for that. And back to Toyin again, she did something that was quite funny. When this lady was trying to explain Caroline now mentioned her son's father. She was like, didn't you accuse Nengi of sleeping with Tenor's dad? Immediately, Tiannah just took it up. Don't mention my son. Are you mentioning my son? Don't mention. And I'm like, why you guys like this? She's trying to be manipulative. She's very manipulative because she didn't say anything bad about your son. What about you that told Laura that, oh, you would have brought your son to the fashion week? And when they were asking her, she was saying, oh, she didn't mean it that way, da 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 da. But now, because somebody's trying to make reference, of course, Tiannah has different baby daddies. Do you get? If all her children, I'm not shading now with it or insult. No, don't get me wrong. If all her children were for one man, was for one man, sorry. What's her name? Caroline would say, oh, the father of your kids. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
she has to be specific. She said the
Of
father of
course.
Tenor, and then Tiannah took it up. Oh, you're mentioning my son. Don't ever mention my. But she didn't say anything bad about your son. She did not. And then Iyabo, she was being sort of a hypocrite because I remember the episode when Laura and this girl Caroline had their issue when she sent that message, and then they had that emergency meeting and everything blew out of proportion. This girl Laura was saying, oh, she didn't mean it maliciously, da 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 da. And I remember Iyabo specifically saying that when you trigger somebody, you don't expect them to react the way you react. Don't complain if they come with fire and brimstone. You understand that? Don't expect them to react just like you. But she's the same person that is getting mad at Caroline for being insensitive, for saying she's insensitive rather. She's the same person. And when they had that issue, Caroline and Chioma, when Chioma called her a bastard, and then Caroline responded and said, "Oh, your family is a bastard." Iyabo stood up and was like, "No, no, 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 don't mention her family." But this is the same person that said, when you're having issues with somebody, there's no limit. Don't even expect the person to go easy on you. So now, why you changing your mouth? People are very, 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 very manipulative because they try to use family and all these things. Yes, they are core things in life and all of that, but don't try to use it to manipulate people. Saying, "Oh, don't talk about my family." Anybody that did not watch that episode properly would think that, oh, Caroline is just insulting her family for no reason. But you were the one that brought up her family first. So when you insult somebody, anything that they give you back, you take it because you actually started it. And then Tiannah on the next episode, she trying to hit Chioma. I was like, what's this? For me, I feel that was like pattern of aggression. She cannot stand up and fight Caroline.
Yes,
She can't
I'm
stand up and
fine.
fight Caroline. So who is the weak link? The weak link? Chioma. Chioma is the only person she can stand up and try to. In as much as I don't like what Chioma did, but that's wrong. You standing up to want to go and slap her. Is she your child? Like, I don't understand. Why didn't you try that with Caroline? So they know what they are doing. All of them, they know what they are doing. So that's basically all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Ray. Thank you so much. I mean, the way you were obsessed when you after you watched the reunion, honestly, that was the same way I felt. Just seeing all those little things, the manipulative games, the transfer of aggression. It was just so annoying. And you wonder that these women, even that you people don't know that you're all mature women, there are certain things you don't even try at all with each other.
I
Anyway,
actually, sorry, excuse me, but I actually agree with one of your speakers who said they've watched other Real Housewife franchise. I think they have. So some of the things that they do, I feel like is exaggerated. Some of the drama that they have, I feel they exaggerate it. I don't know if it's
of
scripted
course,
or not,
there's
but
one
it's
drama.
definitely exaggerated just to get people talking because a lot of these things are things you can sit down and clear up, but they'll blow it out of proportion because it is drama. People want to see drama. Do you get? So they'll also add
Yeah.
that. They'll remember that when they are doing all their rubbish. And also, Caroline, there's something that the ladies there they're trying to do. They're trying to paint Caroline as a liar. So anything
Mm-hmm.
she's saying, even if she's saying the truth, they'll say, "Oh, after all, you're a liar. Everybody knows you're a liar." Even when she's saying facts, and Tiannah is the one that started pushing that narrative. Even when she's saying facts, you say, "Oh, you're a liar. Are you the one they want to believe?" and all of
Yeah.
that. But she's saying facts. If not, why don't you allow her speak and clear her name? And I don't think it's
True.
necessary that they always fight each other through fists. You can use your mouth as nuclear weapon. If they're coming for a season two, the producers need to tell them to just tone down the violence and all these things they're doing because they are giving other people the wrong impression about us. Because you already know how they see Africans. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, they're tacky after all. See what they're doing. People that are supposed to be okay, big ladies that are responsible, that are wealthy, see how they're embarrassing themselves. Do you get? So how do you expect that
Honestly,
impression about us to change in the minds of these people that are foreigners that see Africa in a certain way? So I think moving forward, they should just do better. And also this habit of them discussing things that did not happen on camera, I think next season they need to stop it. Anything that they did not feel like that happened, for example, the fight that happened between Caroline and Moz and him, Iyabo. I know they said that the camera crew they were not there and all of that, but next time don't talk about anything that we did not see from the beginning. Do you get? Because we don't really know the truth. Only you people that are there, that were present there, know the truth. We are just saying based on what we've seen. And there been some things that happened before you showed us what you're showing us. So if you're not going to show us from the beginning, there's no point for you to bring it. Because when somebody is trying to defend somebody based on what they are watching, the other housewives to come and say, "Oh, you're supporting them blindly, they are manipulative." No, they are not. We are just judging based on what we are being shown. There might be something else going on
honestly,
backstage, but this is
thank
what we are
you.
being shown, and that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Free. Thank you very much, Free. Now, if you can come back, please. All right. Apologies. I know that you stayed for a while, but if you can come back, please, then you speak. There's also Mimi. Mimi, we tried to add you before, but you strictly muted yourself. We could not unmute you. I tried and tried to unmute you. I could not unmute you. So please, Mimi, if you can come back, then you can still speak. So let me quickly allow Queen to speak. Then after Queeness speaks, then Steph and Trisha will also speak. Queeness, are you here? Queeness, you have muted
Hello.
yourself. Okay, all right. Hi, Queeness. You're welcome.
Hi. Hi, Glory. How are you doing? Luchita,
I'm
it's very
fine.
beautiful to see you. We missed you last week. I'm so happy to
Oh,
see you.
thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. First of all, I'd
All
like
right.
to say that for me, just like I anticipated, Uchi didn't do it for me. He didn't do it for me at all. And secondly, the quality of the video, the production, I don't know, it was all messy. It made the ladies look different in their makeup and all that. But most
Mm,
importantly, what I want to say is even after watching the first part of the reunion, I feel these ladies are not really passing a very good noting to the world or giving out a very good account of themselves for us young ladies coming up to learn from them. Throwing each other under the bus is not what we women are supposed to do. You know, we are supposed to help each other grow in our fields. We are supposed to, encourage each other. And I feel the ladies didn't really do that. And it's even showing in the reunion. And as women, even if you are successful, people think, or the opposite gender thinks that we have shortcuts in getting to wherever we are in life. So for them coming out and spilling some teas about you slept with this person, you were pinned to this governor, I felt it was just not right for women to do to each other. And I don't know. I just want to wait and see what the next part would bring. But I really didn't like everything that I saw, and I don't think that's the message they want to push for the world to know. So
yeah.
basically, yeah, that's what I want to say.
Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you so much. And I totally agree with you about the quality of the video. It was a bit disturbing to my visual senses. I was struggling so hard with the color, and I was wondering, like, why is the actual show looking clean and crispy? You can deal with the visuals, but then the actual reunion everybody has been looking forward to is now looking like one overcooked and overbaked video. It was just so disturbing. And I'm hoping that they get all this feedback and ensure that the part two comes out with greater quality than this one. Thank you so much, Queen. Steph, I'm sorry once again. Let me quickly allow Usaina to speak, and then you speak. Remember you've spoken before, so please. Usaina, are you ready?
Yes, mom, I'm here.
You're welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back.
Wow, Glory, I finally speak with you. This is awesome. Oh, God, this is a great day. Awesome. Wow.
Thank
Wow, wow,
you.
wow, wow. Well done, mom. No cap.
Thank you.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge, huge, huge fan. Well done. Well done. You're
Thank
doing a
you.
great job. Your
Thank
teeth
you.
white, your face show, everything shines. So well done, mom.
Thank you.
All right. So wow. Well, the event has been a great one. Like each and every of the speakers have said, I just have to be in agreement. But concerning this reunion, amazing. They all look splendid, beautiful, and all. But sincerely, except there is a script going on, I don't really know what this show is all about. I'm sorry. Because I don't understand the whole beef going on amongst the women. Is this the message they're actually trying to preach? Except there is a script, because how did the selection, I don't know, all these women seems to have one beef for one another here and there, especially against Caroline. Like, what has that lady actually done? Is she like the Judas Iscariot? Why is everyone just interested in stepping on her toes? And she's just so beautiful. They should just calm down for that woman, I beg. I don't understand. Like, seriously. And then like Auntie Yabo, like, she loves to be called. I don't really know what the auntie is for, but when you're not Lion of the tribe of Judah, she's just so fearful. Like, everyone wants to be afraid of her. Why is she painting that picture? Like, Chioma especially, I feel like Chioma has this fear for Iyabo, and that's not fair. Like, even when she wants to make her own move, even that podcast that they gave out, you could see that literally Chioma did not have a mind of her own. She's talking, Iyabo wants to come and she keeps quiet right away. Like, is she her mother? I don't really get what's going on. So I don't know the image she's giving out there, but I'm sorry, I am not pleased. I am not at all. She didn't win me over as a fan. I'm so sorry. I think she's a bully. I think she's a hypocrite. She's not painting the whole auntie nature very well, because she says something behind the back and then she wasn't sensitive. How do you say that you were within your female folks, then you were gisting, then you didn't know the camera suddenly comes up and somebody lost something so valuable, and then you're asking her which of the boyfriends bought it for her? That was so unfair. That was so insensitive. What did that lady do to them? Every one of them is just, they're just throwing dagger at her, and that's not fair. Like, they should put herself in their shoes, each and every one of them. What if they're all the ones that everyone is pointing fingers at like this? Will they take it? I don't know what the show is. But I said there is a script somewhere. But please, the producers really have to sit up, because things like this gets to be stored forever. And this woman has children, and the children growing up and her hearing how she sleeps with 5 men in a month. I don't really think that is a good information about someone's mom. That's not fair. And then Toyin getting to cursing someone on live, whether it's recorded or whatsoever, I don't know, or shaking whatsoever. I don't know. She's just too, any little thing she wants to fight, she wants to be physical. Is that what this is all about? Is that who we are in Nigeria? I've not watched other housewives of other countries, but then I don't really know what's going on here. They should just chill on Caroline. I don't think that woman has done something so wrong that everybody are just interested in painting her so black. Okay, like take for example Mariam. I don't even think she has a phenomenal character. Like, she came in late, but somehow she was able to win us all over. We could love her. We could see angles from which she's coming from. So sweet. But the fact that she's not stable at whose war she should go into, and that is still because Toyin is an instigator. She can take people to fight her own war for her instead of her. I don't really know why she's that kind of a person, but that unity spirit that is not in her. She sort of likes fight. Like that show where they were on that yacht for her birthday, we could hear Caroline taking excuse, saying, "Excuse me, I needed was it ice?" And then she's still saying, maybe because she just finally united with Laura, she's saying that's rude. Meanwhile, we heard that lady taking excuse. So what is it? If you had beef outside, maybe behind the scene, when the camera is up, you should be mature to settle your differences instead of bringing it for us viewers to see what is the shenanigans that are going on between the two of them. That is not fair. Caroline has been so matured about it. She should also learn to know how to fight her battle somewhere and stop bringing it to the camera for us to see, because it's not palatable so far. Please, she's a beautiful businesswoman, icon, and all that. But then no one is perfect, we know. But that part of her that is a weakness for her, she needs to visit it. Please, she sincerely needs to visit it. Yes, ma'am. And I sincerely hope that Caroline and Chioma comes back as friend again. That's my wish and my prayer, because they were just so good together. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I am so happy you came back. Thank you so much, please. And please, let me just put this out there. I understand, that everybody, when we're giving our own opinion, sometimes we take time. Please, I want to beg to those of us who are trying to join the conversation, please. Sometimes I just want people to express themselves, okay? So it's not like I'm giving one person too much time over another person. So I understand if you want to join the conversation, maybe it's taking too much of your time, you leave. Please always come back. All right. Always come back. Don't leave and then you disappear. Always come back. There's always room for everybody. All right. Okay. So Val is the only person here that has not spoken before. So I'm going to allow Val speak, and then we'll now move on to speak with Steph, Latricia, and Tolu, who have spoken before. Okay. So Val, if you are ready, we are also ready for you.
All right. Can everyone hear me, or Glory, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
All
Welcome.
right, awesome. So the first thing I want to say, Glory, is I am so glad to be on. I actually tried connecting last week, and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get on, and then I waited and waited and waited, so I eventually left. I want to commend you first for the amount of work you do. Like, I seriously do look forward to your analysis. It's like I watch the show, I've got my own opinion, and then I want to hear what you've got to say, right? And so it's always interesting that we're usually on the same wavelength. And I'm going to, just sort of, throw this out there, whether people believe it or not. I don't have a stand. Like, I sit back and I analyze each and every single lady, and I watch it episode by episode. And on each episode, I'm sort of looking at the good, bad, and the ugly, right? And the good, bad, and ugly can change from one person to another. So I'll start with the reunion, and I'll just talk about the good. I felt that the ladies look absolutely amazing. Their outfits, their makeup, their entrance, I thought it was just beautiful. I mean, Caroline coming in late and, just sort of, having that grand entrance certainly was, a highlight for sure. But every single one of them, they looked amazing. And I thought that was really good. What I also thought was really good about the reunion was the fact that, Caroline actually, I'm not sure if all the ladies said hi, if that was cut out, but, Caroline actually said, hi, ladies, right? Or hey, ladies, or something along those lines. And she took her seat, right? So, I mean, she could certainly, be painted as the villain, right? But she still has this human side of her, right? And she was still certainly, extending some courtesy to the other ladies, right? And then when we go into the bad, like, I'll start with Mariam. I seriously do not understand what Mariam's role in the entire show and in the reunion was, right? It seemed like she was trying to make herself relevant by, trying to bring up an issue, right? And I mean, like, just even from, like, talking about how Caroline made her feel like, her first, the first time she appeared in the gathering with them and all that stuff. I seriously, like, kudos to Caroline on how she handled that. Like, you need to be able to know the issues that you're going to, jump into, and the ones that you're going to say, you know what, this is not even worth my sworth. Like, if you want an apology, I apologize of how I made you feel. This is how I felt, right? So Mariam, in all honesty, I think a lot of people said she's like a follow or something like that, right? Truly, she has no sense of identity on her own. Like, I mean, I think a lot of Nigerians, had a lot of high expectations when she came on, right? We thought, well, she was certainly going to come in and she's going to, like, change the dynamics of the game, right? But in all honesty, she didn't do that. Next, I'm going to talk about Iyabo. And I mean, I can keep going on and on about Iyabo, right? She comes, like, she thinks she's the anti-Iyabo. I refuse to call her anti-Iyabo. I think she's a Iyabo, right? Regardless of her age. The age means nothing if you cannot, be mature and if you cannot act responsibly, right? And I don't see what Chioma sees in her, whether Chioma is lacking, a figure of a mother. I know she's got a mother, right? If she's lacking that figure, and so she really needs to cling to Iyabo. But in the show, like, well, for the reunion, Iyabo didn't really say much other than the fact that, Laura was the one that shared the information about, what was shared at the Abuja trip, right? But Iyabo, really, really disappointed me in terms of how she carried herself in the entire show, from her insensitive comments, right, to wanting to feel like, what, she is this really emotional person that can't handle, her anger and all that stuff. It's still very disappointing. No matter how angry you get, you can't portray that on national TV because of your kids, right? It's very important that she acts responsibly. She needs to act her age, and she needs to act in the way that she wants to be addressed and treated, if she wants to be treated respectfully, right? And then we move on to Laura. And I concluded that Laura is one person behind the camera, and Laura is a different person in person. So she acts like, she's all macho. She acts like, she's a gangster. She acts like, she can definitely, come in contact with, her enemy, and she will tear them apart. But she couldn't, right? in person, it was so disappointing seeing how she finally agreed that, well, I guess I'm not a customer or a client. I guess, oh, sorry, I guess I'm not a friend. I guess I'm a customer or a client. I just assumed that everyone was my friend. And then when you look at her interaction with even Tiannah, the fact that she couldn't challenge Tiannah, like, I mean, you haven't spoken to Tiannah since the Dubai trip. You know, you were just seeing her for the first time in person, and yet Tiannah's ripping the friendship apart, telling you about how you're disloyal. And that would have been the perfect time to say, you know what, I am disappointed in you, Tiannah. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not your friend. I don't consider you a friend. And you know what, this friendship is over. She couldn't even say that with confidence when UT asked that question. Tiannah had to be the one that sort of said, you know what, take your friendship and go. I don't need it, right? Like, we're done. The friendship is done, and that's it. Move on, right? So I mean, that was just, and then you can even see it also in her in the text message she sent after the event at Mariam's house, right? And so it's like she wasn't bold enough to speak up at the table to say, I'm sorry, guys, but you know what? This is unacceptable. Like, let's just not do it. Let's move on, but let's not do it. She needed to wait till the next day to send a text message. So she needs to get behind the computer, behind her phone, right? Or behind, you know, when she's in the conventional room when it's just her, to sort of, you know, rise up and act like, you know what, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I think they showed the clip about, you know, where she said, you know, F you, Kika, and F you, Chioma, right there. I said it. But she's covering up her face, you know, in this reunions. Like, she can't really say to their face. Whereas Caroline's looking up to, you know, is looking at the eyes of Laura, and she's saying, well, I say it with my full chest. I'm not taking my words back. She's looking at, you know, Tiannah and saying, Tiannah, you know what? You need to be honest, because there's no debit alert when you say the truth, right? And she's even calling them sugar while she's insulting them, right? So I mean, that's that. And then we get to the ugly, right? And I do apologize, guys, if I'm taking time. I try to, you know, try not to take so much time. So now we get to the ugly, and I'll start with the Tiannah and Laura, right? Like, man, that was just a complete mess. Like, I truly do hope that Laura can see that, you know what, Tiannah's not a friend. Tiannah's not a friend of anyone. That's the truth. Tiannah will, you know, she'll go where she feels that, you know what, she can buy maybe some loyalty for whatever period of time, and she runs people down. And that's just been my analysis of the entire show. We can see that, and in the relationship she's had with multiple people, that relationship is done. I hope Laura realizes that, and I hope she can truly sort of move away from that, right? And then you look at the Tiannah and the Chioma situation, right? Like, I know we didn't see that yet in this reunion one. We're going to see that in the next the next reunion, right, clip that we get to watch. But we're going to see that really Tiannah is jealous. There's something that Tiannah that makes Tiannah's heart beat, you know, when she comes in contact with other people. I'm sorry to say, she may act like, you know what, she's well accomplished, she's the king of fashion, she's creative, she's got all of this, but I think that she's so insecure in herself. If she is, she will celebrate others, knowing truly what she's worth, knowing truly what she has. She does not need to be intimidated by others, right? Whereas I think she is. Right. And then, you know, if I can just go back to sort of like the show and talk about some of the relationships, the ones prior to the show, the Laura, Tiannah, and the Tiannah and Iyabo, unfortunately, it's just a mess when you see how a lot of their relationship issues came into this show. Iyabo talks about how Laura had always looked down on her, and she had tried to get her involved in some other things, whatever the case might be. And that's the reason why she doesn't like Laura. And Laura, the reason why she doesn't like Carol is obviously because of the things that Tiannah said to her, which she couldn't admit to it, to say, you know what, yes, Tiannah shared these things with me, and it was based on that. That's why I acted this way. Even though Tiannah was already sort of folding up that whole relationship and throwing it into the ocean, Laura still felt maybe, you know what, I don't want to get involved in this. I'm not going to say it, right? Which was disappointing. But the whole Chioma and Carol relationship, I thought that had something. I thought that had the, you know, opportunity to become a relationship that would have certainly thrived. But, you know, the disloyalty definitely is what has severed that relationship. And I don't think there's any future for it, in as much as I would hope and pray that there is. But I don't think that there is any future, because once, you know, loyalty, once trust is broken in a relationship, that is it. It's done. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it. There's certain people that loyalty is very important. And I think that no matter what Caroline would have done to Chioma, or what Chioma may have done to Caroline, they could have certainly ironed that out in closet, like in the secret place, rather than bringing it out in the open. And even if, like, I mean, I watched the podcast with Chioma and Iyabo, right? And even if Caroline did anything, I've had friends that I have, like, in the secret place, scolded them, and gone out into the public and acted like, you know what, there's nothing wrong. Even if Caroline didn't want to apologize. And I think, Glory, you said this so intelligently well. You talked about how, Chioma lacks emotional intelligence. I 100% agree with you. And I've been that way before, where I'm like, I'm still hurting. I'm still in pain. I'm not ready to, even though I know I acted out of line, I'm not ready to go apologize. I recognize that I do need to apologize, but not right now. Give me some time. And I think Chioma failed to understand that, even if she realized that, you know what, Caroline, you're wrong. You certainly need to apologize to Iyabo. The timing was very, very important. And it was not necessary for Chioma to come out in the open and shed it out with the other ladies, that she was the one that forced Caroline to apologize. She should have never done that. It could have been something between herself and Caroline to say, you know what, girl, you got to go apologize to her immediately. But out there in the public, she can be telling Iyabo, you know what, Caroline is so sorry. She's so sorry. She really wants to apologize. Like, she can't wait. Oh, please, she's so, she could be that person, that friend, knowing that between herself and Caroline does not feel that. That's what loyalty is. And even if she needed to exit that relationship, how she exited that relationship was also very important, which I thought she failed in doing that. Even if, you know what, Caroline's a villain, she said a lot of things about Caroline, and it could very well be true. Right? I'm not defending Caroline. It could very well be true. We don't know these ladies beyond what they say on the show. But even if she felt, you know what, I do not want to associate myself anymore with this lady, I think she's bad for me, she could have done that honorably. She could have gradually started winding down that relationship without anyone knowing anything. And then last but not the least, and this is one that's just been in my mind and I just thought about it, I'm not sure what others think about it though. The last thing I just want to point out is I think that Tiannah has a very, very close relationship with the production team, and that she may have, in one way or the other, been involved in the selection of the ladies. And the reason why I say that though is she somehow seems to have something to do with all these ladies. And if you go back to what Katrine, I think the boss lady from BB Nigeria, so mentioned about how Tiannah had approached her about the show. And then later on, I think about why, we didn't have Mariam come on or start with the show from the beginning. And well, Mariam apparently is a very close friend of Tiannah, and they go way back. And then I look at the whole Tiannah and Laura, and then the whole Tiannah and Iyabo, right? And Tiannah and Caroline. And I'm just like, you know what, this is way too much of a coincidence. Yes, the Chioma is sort of like the, outside, the extra person that I don't really see that connection. But I think closely that Tiannah has a very, very, very strong input into the cast members that were selected. That's all I do have to say. Just want to thank you so much, Gloria, once again. I really do love your analysis, and in as much as people feel that you're biased, in all honesty, if you already have a fave in mind, then your ears are always in tuned to listening to the positive about your faith and not about the negative. Like I said, Caroline could very well be a demon. She could be a liar. She could be a pathological liar and all of that. And we only have the show and what people say to go on. And at the end of the day, when you're analyzing things, there's always going to be the good, there's going to be the bad, and there's going to be the ugly. And if you take the good without the bad and ugly, then you, my friend, you are biased. Thank you very much. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you so much, Val. Oh my God, that was a truckload of sense. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. But with regards to your last point, Toyin's connection with the women, honestly, I agree with you because I listened to Toyin's interview. There was something she said about, oh, when I reached out to Laura about the show, I told her, I'm paraphrasing now. She went on about, oh, I told her that, oh, when you come to the show, and you can do whatever I want to do, blah, 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 blah. I do not determine what you do, So she made it sound like she was the one that extended that invitation to Laura to join the show. And also from what we saw again, it was like she was the one that extended the invitation to Mariam. So honestly, even though we don't know what's going on behind the scenes from this interview that she gave, it made it seem that way. It made it seem like she actually does have a connection with production. The production will have to come and disclaim that if they care. But really, thank you so much, Val. Oh my God, where is Steph? Steph, is gone. Wow. Nutritia is gone. Wow. Okay, let's have Tolu. Tolu, are you here?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right, Tolu,
Trisha
welcome
said
back.
that she couldn't wait because of the timing again. I think I stopped at trauma, and I won't go over anything again because almost everybody has begun to even trash some of the things I wanted to say. Yes, see, I have issues with the way production deals with the way some people behave or say things when the show was still on. Like a lot of times, Toyin kept on saying in different podcasts on her tweet that she brought this person, she told this person. She made it seem as if, oh, this show, I'm the one that brought the remaining ladies that I'm making up this show. And I don't see any disclaimer, at least in the very least from production. And this is the end of season one already. And I think that it gave her the boldness to do a lot of things. And sometimes I'm just looking at, okay, the way production showed the whole Iyabo telling Chioma that, oh, Laura said she's going to slap Caroline. They could have skipped that, but they wanted to show that. So there were times that Tony definitely told Mariam something, told Laura something that would have also been on the show that they didn't show. So I don't know where that dynamic is coming from. And then I just think that Tony is an instigator. And I don't know why it has never like they've never brought it to light on the show. Like she's a big time instigator. And even Uti didn't clarify that after he had asked that, oh, Laura, who told you? Who exactly? Who spilled the beans first? At least we already know that Iyabo was in between the entire situation. But who told you? Because by the time you met with Iyabo, you already knew what happened. And Laura was saying in her confessional that she wanted Iyabo.
Tolu, are you there? Oh my God, what happened? Tolu, we can't hear you anymore.
On that side. So for me, it was that. And then the fact that Chioma, I don't know how people act or react now these days. But one thing I know that is paramount is in friendships, you don't rat out your friends. You don't. You if you've already called this person your friend, you don't rat them out. Literally, there are better ways that fight could have gone, no matter what the reason for that fight was. I, I'm just hoping about episode 12 because I felt like people that I was looking up that okay, at least these women were bringing good image of a Lagos woman, of how a Lagos lady should act and react to things. They just ended up scattering everything. And for Toyin and Caroline, please, they should carry their fights outside the show. We don't want a game because I don't want to even start analyzing what they were doing there. But I feel like the both of them were looking in the mirror and seeing each other. Strong women, strong business, independent women, women that have gone through certain things in their marriages. We Tony already opened up to about our own abuse in our own marriage. So whatever it is that history and that baggage, they've tried their best to not bring it to the show. So then they should not make the entire reunion about it because there was more to the show and there were more questions that we had than that baggage. So for me, I don't even want to see it in the reunion part. So I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it again on the show because they didn't start that issue on the show. They never quarreled about it on the show. Even when they started fighting about it on Twitter, I was even lost when they started fighting about it on Twitter because none of the episodes corroborated their stories at all. So I just believe that production should henceforth cut it out since it doesn't have anything to do with the actual show itself, except if they are trying to make a story on why Tony doesn't like Caroline. And then they just need to control Toyin. That dress, I'm a Yoruba girl. My mom is a Yoruba teacher. That dress, Kingmakers, royal family, they have very strong history in Yoruba land with charms. Everything that she wore was significant. Her actions were as significant as it can be. And in Yoruba land, it's either you believe it or you don't believe it. So whether it happens or not is a coincidence, whatever. But at least, in the very least, she should contain herself. For me, I just think that that's it for me. Besides that, I just think that the major issue now that all the ladies have is this whole friendship and loyalty. So you are my friend, I'm your friend. You've told me something about this person. Let's attack the person together. Let's fight this person together, even though the person didn't do anything to me. So I think that that's the major rift. So everybody was waiting that Chioma and Caroline's roots should be pulled apart. so that they can all rejoice and say, okay, yes, all of us, we don't have friends again. Everybody's friendless. Let's start all over again. I think that that's what they were trying to do. They first turned Laura to they first isolated Laura emotionally, and now they're doing the same thing to Caroline. And the truth is, Chioma should just be careful. She mentioned the statement and said, "Oh, if you could do this to Iyabo, how much more me?" Doesn't she know that Iyabo too is thinking that if Chioma could react like that on camera, on screen time to Caroline,
Yeah,
she can do the same thing to Iyabo. So
exactly.
everybody's watching their backs. Besides that, I just hope
Exactly.
that part two is interesting, it's fun. I want to see
Yeah.
what Mariam wants to do. At the same time, I just feel like she's just seeking attention. She and Laura, they are from the same place. Besides that, I think the show is fine.
Thank you so much, Tolu. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your input. And thank you so much for being so patient. Oh my God. Listen, guys, it's been a long conversation. This is over 3 hours, 30 minutes. The weather, or should I say the lighting is going out, yes. And honestly, you guys are the realest MVPs. I want to genuinely thank all of you for your patience in joining this conversation, for spending this much time on this channel. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. This is the weekend. You are all supposed to be doing other things, but you chose to be here. I appreciate it and thank you all so much. I do not take your time for granted, yes. And for everybody that contributed, whether virtually by speaking with us or in the comment section, I appreciate all of your input. I appreciate it. Nelly Baby, and Laura N has been going at it for the longest time. Oh my God. I've been stylishly reading people's comments and it's been hilarious over here. And listen, I want to let you all know, yeah, this virtual conversation where people come on your screen and speak, it's for everybody. It's not for a selected people. All right. So please, whenever we have our live streams, feel free to join. And as I said before, listen, if the room is full, you left, come back. There's always room for everybody to speak if you want to speak. All right. And with regards to this conversation of today, we have all said a lot, and I appreciate the fact that every single person that spoke today came here to share their own frank opinion. That is how they perceive the show as they have watched it, and that is what they have come to share. And everybody that has spoken here and everybody that wants to speak here, they have a right to sharing their own opinion and expressing themselves. That is very, very vital on this channel. So once again, I want to appreciate all of you for doing just that. Okay. And I want to also remind you all that we do this every Saturday, 3 p.m. WAT. If we do any live stream on a Sunday, it's probably because we have a lot more to share. All right. And what else? Yeah, basically, thank you all so much for joining. For Steph, Latricia, and Emanuela that could not speak, that left. I'm so sorry, you guys were delayed, please. But thank you all so much for speaking earlier and even thinking about coming back to speak again. We are hoping that the part two of the Real Housewives of Lagos is going to be a banger. We've provided a lot of suggestions as solutions, to make the next part better. I don't know if they are still editing it or if they are done, whatever it is, but if they are done with the whole editing, one thing that I personally want to beg the production team for is to ensure that the video quality is better. Please, at least. I know it's not easy for them to go and start reshooting and re-editing. They probably must have done all of that anyways. But when it comes to the video quality, please, they should give us something great. I beg. They should give us something better. This part one's video quality, it was just an eyesore. It was, I don't know, my eyes has this thing with how I interpret colors. I'm not color blind. I'm not color blind, but the colors was just too much. I think the saturation, however they edited the quality, it was just over the top. So they should just make it better, please. All right. And one last thing, guys. Honestly, Latricia's membership today, oh my God, it sent me over the moon. I have been so excited. And I want to also put it out there that, guys, if you are looking for a way to support this channel, frankly speaking with Gloria Elijah, you can do that by, subscribing to my channel membership. If you check on my channel, you will see subscribe, you will see the notification bell, and then you will see join. All right. I think it's in the blue box or something.
You can click on that. I have like different membership levels. All right, there's a classic and then there's a premium. So you can pick anyone to subscribe to. There is select number of people on this channel that are members of this channel already. I don't want to disclose their identities except they want. All right, but the likes of Letitia is there already. Dupe Omiwade is a regular. So guys, that is their own way of supporting this channel. So if you want to do so, please do not hesitate to use the join button. And if you are already subscribed to this channel, thank you so much for doing that. If you haven't turned on notification, yes, then you should do so, because that is another fast way that you'll be able to receive a lot of my videos. And whenever you see my video, just click on it, all right? That way, you will still always be receiving notifications of my videos. We've said a lot, and it's time to call it a night. Thank you all so much for joining once again. I don't know, but just enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have an amazing day or an amazing evening. Look at me. I'm trying to do something else as I'm talking. Let me just leave this video with you all. Bye. Hey, stop right here. Don't go anywhere. You are especially welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Glory Elijah, and this right here is Frankly Speaking with Glory. I am the girl with the tea. I give detailed analysis of reality TV shows like Big Brother Naija, like Nigerian Idols, like The Voice Nigeria. You know, basically any reality TV show that actually interests you, it automatically becomes my interest as well. I literally carry on from my head. I give detailed analysis, I give detailed reviews. I run commentaries also because I want us to have fun. I want us to catch cruise. I want us to, you know, vibe to stuff like that. And reality TV shows are not the only kind of content that I put out on my channel. I also do movie reviews. So you see this Glory Elijah of a girl, she's a very, very boring sport. Guys, for real. I am super, super boring. However, whenever I feel like passing my time, you know, just having my own fun, chilling, being in a zen mode, I catch up on movies, which I find very, very interesting or exciting. But also, guys, I love reviewing those annoying ones because, hey, we have to call them out. You cannot come and waste my data. You cannot come and waste my precious time watching some really annoying movies. And I also talk about trending social topics because, of course, this life has to be balanced, okay? It's not all about entertainment and fun all the time. We also need to talk about those serious issues that concerns me, also concerns you as well. You're about to have a blast on this channel. I also share my life experiences from time to time. Yes, that is when people ask me to talk about it. But if people don't ask me to talk about it, sometimes I do not feel the need to talk about it. I like keeping my private things private. But once again, you are welcome to my YouTube channel, and as I told you before, you are in the right space. Trust me, you will be so addicted to this channel. People are going to be asking you, what's happening with you? Are you okay? And hey, don't forget to turn on post notification, all right? That is the best way for you to always receive alerts of my videos. So you see what I'm doing on my screen right now, just do exactly that and you'll be cool.